What is the Sinisterhood live show like? You're about to hear one. We recorded this episode at Comedy Works in Denver and had a great time. We also had a special audience participation portion at the end where Judge Christie ruled on the grievances of wronged audience members.
If you want to be a part of our live show fun, head to sinisterhood.com/live shows and get your tickets for a show near you. We'll be in San Antonio October 26th, in Dallas October 27th, in Houston on October 28th, and back in Dallas on November 2nd. If we're not coming to your town, never fear. You can always chat with us on our monthly live Q&As and catch live stream performances of our bonus content each month via Patreon. Head to sinisterhood.com and click Patreon on the top banner to subscribe today.
And don't forget to stick around after the show this week to hear your Patreon shoutouts. We hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for listening and keep it creepy.
Most of you have probably heard me singing the praises of Prose, the world's most personalized hair care. And for those of you who haven't, I want to tell you now about the incredible results I've been seeing since using my customized Prose products. My hair is super long and Prose keeps it shiny. I love the leave-in conditioner and I love how clean the shampoo I use gets my very oily scalp.
It looks great. Your hair always looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Prose knows there is more to you than just your hair type. Prose has given over 1 million consultations with their in-depth hair quiz, which is how I got started. I had to answer where I live, my lifestyle, if you will, all sorts of fun things. Zip codes are taken into account, like the humidity and stuff in the area that you live in. I recently just changed the scent of mine to the new botanical, and it is lovely. It's lavender, rosemary, and thyme, I believe. I love a good botanical scent, and my hair smells so good now.
And we've been traveling together, so I just get to sniff you all the time with your beautiful
you.
hair. Prose analyzes 85 personal factors and determines a unique blend of ingredients to treat your exact concerns.
They also have the review and refine feature. It lets you tweak your formulas for any reason, like if you change your address, your hair color, or your diet. I recently used this. That's when I changed the scent. But I also I tweaked it a little bit. I wanted some additional stuff to help with flyaways and to smooth out and to help with shedding because, my goodness, sometimes I take a shower and I'm like, I could knit a whole other Christie out of the amount of hair that comes out of my head. So now I am shedding less because they tweaked the formula a bit for me.
That's awesome. Well, they are also a carbon neutral certified B Corp and an industry leader in clean and responsible beauty. All of their ingredients are sustainably sourced, ethically gathered, and cruelty free. They're also the first beauty brand to go carbon neutral.
If you're not 100% positive Prose is the best hair care you've ever had, they will take the products back, no questions asked.
Prose is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. Go to prose.com/creepy. That's PROSE.com/creepy for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off. Adulting is bullshit. Everybody knows that. It's an onslaught of WTFs at least 20 times a day. But with this subscription box, you get to say everything you mean to say about life, so your mouth doesn't have to.
Smartass and Sass is a monthly subscription box that brings snark and sass right to your door. I think that could be the name of our new two-person show, Snark and Sass. I love everything I've got from this. They're such cute little things you can put around the house or like makeup bags. I'm looking at my little block on my desk right now that says, "Who left the bag of idiots open?" I ask myself this every day. It's a nice little reminder. You just traveled with one of a very cool, like clutch makeup bag that we got.
We did. It's a beautiful makeup bag. It's vinyl on one side and canvas on the other. But I also got pulled over for additional screening by the TSA because of a recording device for the podcast. But I keep all of my electronic cords in a bag that says, "You should see my active bitching face." And that got a little laugh from the TSA agents.
There you go. You're making some people's days.
Smartass and Sass items are curated and tested by the S&S team, a group of really mouthy mofos who can't stop laughing at their own dang sense of humor.
Choose from 3 levels of subscriptions. T-shirt only, which is 1 t-shirt a month. The box only, which is 6 to 9 Smartass items. Or the best deal of all, which is the big box, which gives you all the shirts and items.
Subscribe today at smartassandsass.com and use code CREEPY for 25% off your first subscription. Boxes ship on the 18th of each month.
You can also follow Smartass and Sass on social media for your daily dose of attitude, updates on special sales, and product highlights from the shop.
One man set out for Colorado looking for the healing power of the mountains, where he built himself a grand empire. A half a century later, with the enormous structure crumbling, an author on a mission happened upon the place and introduced it to his readers as one of the most haunted hotels in the country. Were the ghosts always there? Waiting to show themselves to a willing visitor? Or is this another of the legendary writer's creative tales? Tonight's episode is The Stanley Hotel. Up in the night, your heart fills with dread. Probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to who? Sinisterhood. I texted Paris and was like, where are you sitting? And he was like, it's real VIP. So that's good. Hello. Hi, how's it going?
I like that
We definitely left our
my
hotel.
key card to the hotel is right
Left
here.
it on the stage
So,
earlier.
That's cool. Yeah.
What's up? How are y'all? This is so fun. You guys started singing this song, and I was like, I don't love the sound of my voice, but I love the sound of your voices. So it was so nice to hear that. Thank you so much. And then you started whooping when you figured it out. You figured out the clues.
You figured it out.
Love it. Sleuths. We got sleuths in the audience.
Round of applause if you've been to the Stanley Hotel.
Yes.
Well, we stayed there last night and we almost got snowed in. We feel like I texted Heather, I was like, there's a winter storm. And then the woman that works there was like, it's only 40 to 50 miles an hour winds. This is nothing. We were like, we're going to die. We're from Texas. We don't know how to, my suitcase started rolling down the sidewalk. We don't know how to handle this kind of weather.
Well, I saw last week, I haven't checked the weather in a week, so that was poor planning. And so last night we're like, the rain sounds hard. Not like in pressure hard, but like physically hard. And it was like, that's snow. Snow's hard rain. So there it is.
We don't see it often.
No.
Also, you can just open a window at the Stanley and just jump right out if you wanted
Loose.
to. There's no screen.
Did your bathroom have a dumping window? I had a dumping window.
We did.
So you sit on the toilet, it's a huge window. I mean, it's probably bigger than like a mirror.
It's
just
gigantic.
a tiny little one of those like whoop locks, and I opened it, and it was just, there's no screen,
No.
there's no rules. I sent a selfie to my wife, Leanne is here. The problem with me and my wife is you get toilet selfies of me, and I was like, look, I got a dumping window. It was before the snow started, though. But yeah, it was had to drive down a mountain today. It was a whole thing. But it was fun. We love being here. Denver's awesome. This is like one of my dream cities to come to because, thank you, I was obsessed with Denver when I was a kid because I was obsessed with Trey Parker and in love with Trey Parker. And I had a John Elway jersey. I would wear it all around. I loved the Broncos. I really wanted to go to Casa Bonita. Like, that was my dream. And it is not open right now.
We left the hotel specifically to get back for the gorilla show. And then we discovered it's closed, and we were so bummed.
I was devastated. But now Trey Parker and Matt Stone are buying it, right? So I will come back specifically because the list of what they show at Casa Bonita was like dive, announce dive show, gorilla. And
So many dives. Lots of dives.
So we will definitely be back. But this is like a dream seeing like Mile High Stadium and like there's Bronco stuff all over and tiny 11-year-old Heather's like, hell yeah. I made it. It's exactly
I've
like
never
that
been
song.
here either.
No.
So we're loving it so far.
So far, so good. It's so good. And there's just places to buy marijuana products. We're like, what's the drug rules here? And it's like, there's not any.
Heather wanted to go to Casa Bonita, and I'm like, where are the drugs?
Yeah.
That was my question.
We should have taken those and then gone to Casa Bonita next time. Next time. That would be the plan. But we had quite a time with the Stanley. It was beautiful. For being built in 1909, it's still ticking. So, still trucking.
Yep. We went on a ghost tour that we'll tell you all about with Elizabeth.
We love Elizabeth.
You. Bless Elizabeth.
I'll think about Elizabeth. I wrote about Elizabeth in my diary today.
Yeah.
Because she shared so much
She was
of
something
herself.
else. We left and we said 100% she wants to fuck a ghost. Like there was.
She was like, it wasn't any ghost. It was we'll tell you about a very specific ghost. And like, honestly, same. Like,
yeah, I mean,
Pierre could get it. He'll get it. So
Pierre was. Oh man. She was great. The whole thing was great.
Everything was
happy
fun.
to be here. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
So fun. We got we'll do our show. We got a special live segment at this is live right now. We are not holograms, but special extra
we're CGI. Later we'll come out and we'll do our actual live.
You know what? If there were CGI versions of us to do the show, it would be great because they probably don't go to the bathroom before the show as much as we do.
That's true.
They probably go 0 times
also,
if they're built right.
Okay, so this is a problem we had that Heather had to Google.
Oh my God.
Maybe y'all are used to it because you live here, but if you're not, I've trademarked the term altitudes.
I thought I was losing it because I Googled, do mountains make you, and then it said fart, have gas, be bloated, and I was like, I am not alone. It's because I also have asthma, so being up there, I couldn't take 3 steps, and I was
too
like,
much air inside of us, but also not enough. So it just it was that
no air in my lungs. It was all down below, and I was like, well, I need this. It was but that's probably why at the Stanley Hotel all the windows open. They were like, we got you. We got you. Yeah, it's a luxury hotel for that reason only. They're like, we have farting windows and dumping windows. You're welcome. So lets the snow in a little bit, but that was okay. You figure it out.
I loved it. Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
We gotta say our thank yous. That's what we always do at the top of the show.
Let's do our thank yous. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put we all know why that's
She's got that chapstick. Yeah. I want a water too.
Oh yeah, we got our bucket of water.
We got a bucket. I don't like something if it ain't in a bucket. Bucket of fries, bucket of water.
Yeah,
bucket.
Yeah, we got thank yous. Well, first, thank you to all of you guys.
Yes, give yourselves a round of applause. It's a Wednesday night.
Thank you to Denver Comedy Works.
Yes.
Ella. Yeah, Ella, not my daughter. Ella is here. She's waiting on all of you. She's 4 years old. But Ella is taking care of us and taking all of you, along with some other great staff. So take care of them.
Yes, thank you so much. They made sure we had we have an extensive rider. We're like, just Diet Cokes, and can we have straws? Like, if it's not too much trouble. Like, do you mind? It's always like, what are your demands? And I'm like, real bad negotiator. So I'm like, it's fine. It's, if you don't have Diet Coke, it's fine. But they did. It was so nice. Everyone was so helpful. Thank you. So.
Do we want to do the giveaway now?
We can. Or do you want to wait?
That was not whispered. So
no, you shouted it into the microphone.
Yeah. All right.
We had our Instagram giveaway. I found
Tina Ortega. Are you here?
Yes.
Oh, yay!
We got your. It's your prize from High Proof Designs.
Yes.
It's a flask. I put it in a box. But it has our names on it.
Yeah.
So it's for you. There we go. Hooray!
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome.
We might have forgot if we didn't do it. So thank you for indulging us for doing that now.
We forgot last time. Okay. Are we ready to get into it?
Let's do it. You gotta say the words. I'm Christy. I'm Heather.
Oh, I think everyone knows.
No,
but
we gotta, just in case.
I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And let's get into it. Freeland Oscar, better known as F.O. Stanley, and his twin brother, Frederick Eder, or F.E., were born in Kingfield, Maine on June 1st, 1849. At the young age of 9, the brothers started their first business together, refining and selling maple syrup. Over the years, they studied and taught throughout Maine, both eventually marrying women they had met in college around 1876. Not long after, the brothers decided to go into business together again and invented a method to quickly dry certain plates used in the photography process. Their invention was revolutionary, and the Stanley brothers began taking in $1 million a year, which translates to $32 million in today's money. Isn't currency crazy?
What's up with money?
Soon, photography giant Eastman Kodak came calling and acquired the Stanley Brothers Dry Plate Co. Inventors and investors to their core, the brothers also founded the Stanley Motor Carriage Company, where they invented the Stanley Steamer automobile.
I really love their story because this is the kind of thing that if you're at a bar and they're like, oh, what do you do? And he's like, hey, you ever heard of photography? You know, it's kind of wet. Some parts of it's got to be dry. I'm the dry part. And someone's like, oh, I'm going to go over there and talk to him. It's like, should have thought twice. Sometimes the dorkiest shit makes the most money.
Oh, yeah.
The most money.
Yes. Well, sadly, at just 54 years old, F.O. Stanley was struck with tuberculosis and given a terminal diagnosis. Doctors told him he would die in just a few months. Seeking the healing power of fresh mountain air, F.O. packed up his wife, Flora, and made the move to Colorado in 1903. They first stopped in Denver, where they hired architects to build a cottage for them up the mountains in Estes Park, where they eventually moved.
So he's going to cure his tuberculosis, but he's going to get the altitudes.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to trade.
F.O. is for farting out Stanley.
Yes.
He will be strucken. Warning, Mr. Stanley.
Every time we say the name of the city we're in, I pretend like we're like at Madison Square Garden. You're like, "What's up, New York?" And
what's up, Denver?
We the opposite happened. We couldn't breathe when we were
I could not, no.
Yeah. We couldn't get out of the hedge maze. It's 3 feet tall.
I'll post a video on the Patreon. I jumped over the side.
Yeah, we have some video on Patreon. We eventually said, fuck it. We jumped over the hedge to get to the statue of F.O. to take
we saw
a picture.
The statue farts. It's crazy when you walk up. You put a quarter in it.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I think there were some people that I guess were regulars, good for them, and they go, last year the hedge maze was a lot shorter, and it was already like tits high. So
not even. It was like knee high. We're like, how short was this?
Yeah, well, they're trying. I think Paris said, well, you have to start somewhere, so.
I mean,
grow.
It was planted in 2015. They were like...
It started already.
Little tiny leaves when they plant. Yeah, so
it's seeds, like we all
seeds.
are.
I guess that's how everything starts, is with a seed, isn't it? Yeah.
Simple seed of an idea.
4 years after arriving in the Rockies, F.O. had stopped coughing, was feeling better, and eventually began making trips back east. Although he loved the mountains of Colorado, anytime he was away from the East Coast, F.O. missed his high society pals. He thought the perfect way to get them to visit him in Colorado would be by building a luxury hotel.
I have a question. Do you think that means he did not have a good relationship with these folks, that he had to lure them to visit him?
Yeah. Well, I feel like anybody high society is like, I won't go unless there's a luxury place to stay at. And you're like, well, we're not really friends then. You're just, it's all surface level.
I need accommodations,
Yeah.
please.
All right, well, I'll build a hotel to get you to come out here.
Can we please be friends then if I built you an entire hotel? And they're like, I'm quite busy.
I don't know. Where is it? Is it in the side of a mountain? All right, I'll come. Built into the side of a granite mountain, construction began on the Stanley Hotel in 1907 with a grand plan, a $500,000 complex costing about $14.5 million in today's dollars, over the expanse of nearly a dozen buildings, including a golf course and an on-property pond. The magnificent hotel opened its doors in 1909 and became a refuge of the upper class in the stunning mountain landscape. Although it features something pretty modern, the first telephone in the area, because it was meant as a summer retreat, the hotel did not have heat installed until 1978.
And it still doesn't have air conditioning installed.
There's this was something I was very concerned about before we got here. I was like, Heather, we're not going. It's going to be 60 degrees. I'm going to sweat my ass off. I'm not staying in this hotel. And then Colorado went. Polybius episode, I went on a rant about how I don't give a shit about how cold it is outside. I always want air conditioning. We got there and I was like, I'm so fucking cold. I was like huddled in the bed. I couldn't even get up to pee. I was so cold in the night. So joke was on me. Turns out you don't need AC everywhere.
No, especially not after it just starts rapidly snowing out of nowhere.
Yes.
I mean, it
was so quick. And then people went about their lives. No one stopped. We were locked down, but everyone else was like, yeah, what? We're going to, the ghost tour, they're like, weather permitting. We're like, oh, fuck, it's snowing. And she's like, y'all go ahead and just walk up there. And I was like, this is like unshoveled. And
I was like, I don't have a coat. What?
Yeah. They were just always like, just don't fall down when you go that way. And I was like, okay, well, I try not to do that anyway, but thanks for the instructions. I don't know. It was great.
Well, FO eventually sold the Stanley to a company who mismanaged it into bankruptcy.
That's how you get your ass haunted.
Yes. Real fast. He then rescued his beloved hotel and sold it again, this time to a more skilled recipient, Roe Emery, known as the father of Colorado tourism, whose son Walt later went on to co-found the Denver Broncos. As for FO, he eventually resettled back in Massachusetts, where he died in 1940 at the ripe old age of 91.
You know what? That showed them doctors.
Yeah, he's like, 4 years? How about 64 years? I'll show you.
Yeah, he was, or the Colorado air cured him.
Maybe.
It cured him.
Yeah, it's a magical place up there. According to the Post-Crescent, the now king of horror, Stephen King, was living in Boulder with his wife Tabitha in 1973 when they decided to take a drive one October afternoon up to Estes Park. As the story goes, it was the last day of the season when King was handed the keys to room 217, a room they had requested to stay in after hearing rumors it was haunted. With all guests but the two of them gone until next spring, King and his wife found themselves having dinner in an empty dining room while taped orchestral music drifted down the halls. King said in an interview, okay, before she does this, we just spent 20 minutes in the green room. She's like, I gotta watch as many interviews as I can about Stephen King. And she's like, I was like, it sounds great. Maybe tone down the JFK-ness a little bit. So, whatever just happens, this is exactly what Stephen King sounds like, and nobody question it, okay? She's been working very hard. You've got this. You've got this.
I gotta get, I'm like, fake glasses. All right, I got the bowl haircut, probably a sweater on. Except for our table, all the chairs. All the chairs were up on tables. So the music is echoing down the hall. I mean, it was like God put me here to hear that and see those things. I'm sorry, I lost it. I really love Stephen King a lot, and I just feel like he's ashamed of me right now.
If Stephen King listens to this, I mean, that's bucket list. So if everybody tweets, Stephen King, you've got to hear Heather McKinney's impression of you on this episode. If everyone in here tweets that, I feel like we have a good chance of him listening.
Oh, my God.
Because he replies to his tweets and he answers a lot of his tweets, so...
He gets in tweet fights, too, so be cool to Stephen King.
Yeah, be cool.
He will talk mad shit right back to people. He don't care if you wrote Harry Potter or you're just some asshole. He'll just... Or both.
He doesn't give a shit, yeah.
Yeah, he will tweet right back at you until you block him, so...
I think we can do it, guys. I think we can do it, yeah. And then his soul will leave his body.
Tommy has a really cool mask that's the print of the shining carpet, and then we get to the hotel and he was like, I should have brought another mask.
I got it for him. It was in his stocking last Christmas. I was like, if I had known that one day we would be coming here. But yeah, I was like, you're like the guy that wears the band t-shirts, the band is going.
I do that. I do John Mayer concert, John Mayer t-shirt. I'm like, I'm here for you, buddy.
I wore a Judge Christie shirt the other day. Like, that's next level.
I think I told you I wore that Judge Christie shirt when I quit my job.
I love it.
On like a Zoom video. I was like,
anyone, when you're quitting your job, put it on, please. Put it on. Yeah. Well, after dinner, Tabitha turned in for the night while Stephen explored the empty hotel. He eventually stopped in for a drink at the hotel bar, where he was served by the bartender, a man named Grady. As he returned to his room, he had a restless night's sleep, recalling in a later interview, you've got it.
That night, I dreamed my 3-year-old son running through the corridors, looking back over his shoulder, eyes wide, screaming. He was being chased by a fire hose. A fire hose! I woke up with a tremendous jerk, sweating all over. This is going worse. It's so much worse.
The action's gotten thicker.
It's so much worse.
It's like,
She's
it's
crying.
like, what's that movie with Ben Affleck where he's just in Boston?
Oh, every movie. The town.
I feel like
The town. This is why I love to do a live show, because otherwise we'd be like, what's that movie? I don't know. Okay. And then you guys are at home going, the town! It's the town! And the person next to you at the red light's like, are you okay?
We also would have stopped recording so she could perfect
be like,
it. So y'all are getting you're seeing how the
impossible.
sausage is made right here. I'm literally crying.
There's so much more to this quote.
Yeah, there is. Maybe you should start over.
Nah, I won't do that to these nice people. We're gonna just power through.
You got it.
I woke up with a tremendous jerk, sweating all over. Within an inch of falling out of bed. I got up, lit a cigarette, sat in a chair looking out the window. We're in New Jersey now. It's veered off. Looking out the window at the Rockies, and by the time the cigarette was done, I had the bones of the book firmly set in my mind. Please don't tell him to listen. Don't tweet him. Don't. Not change.
Totally
We rescind. If you're listening later in the future and you've already tweeted him, delete it, please.
Tweet him. I think he has a sense of humor, and I think he would appreciate it.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Well, the book was The Shining, Stephen King's third novel at the time and his top-selling novel to date. How many people have read it? Yeah. How many people have seen the movie? So there's kind of a stark difference between the two. And like we said, Stephen King doesn't shy away from how he feels. He did not like Kubrick's version of the movie.
If you Google Stephen King The Shining, Stephen King The Shining interview, almost every title is like, Stephen King talks about why he hates the movie The Shining. Stephen King hated The Shining. Did you know? I'm like, yeah, because I Googled it.
We all know.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's every time they interview him about it.
Yes. 1 year earlier, King had been working on a book called Darkshine about a psychic boy in a psychic amusement park. However, the book was abandoned after the author suffered writer's block. After his night at the Stanley, the story had returned to him, fully formed and better than ever. Sometimes you just got to take a break and go to a haunted hotel to finish your novel.
Nothing more inspirational.
Though a stay in the hotel's room 217 helped inspire King to write The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick-directed film version of the book was not shot in Colorado. Instead, the exterior shots of the film were shot in Oregon at the Timberline Lodge, and the interior shots of the fictional Overlook Hotel were built on sound stages in England. The famous room number was changed from 217 in the book to 237 in the film, at the request of the Timberline Lodge. Management of the hotel feared guests would not want to sleep in a haunted room.
Wrong.
So they asked for it to be changed to a non-existent room number, 237. The joke was on them, however. According to the hotel's website, more than any other room, guests request to stay in 217.
So every place has TripAdvisor reviews. I don't know if that's good, but it's true. And we looked up the TripAdvisor reviews of the Stanley, and the complaints are, far and wide and stupid and wrong. And I'm just going to go. When we get back, I'm writing a really thorough review.
We had a lovely time
of the Stanley. It was lovely, and
we were nervous based on the TripAdvisor.
Yes, it was so scary. And my favorite TripAdvisor review was like, "The Shining wasn't filmed here. 1 star." And I was like, that's not anybody's fault that works here at all.
There has anything to do with that.
First of all, they can't fix that, so not a good thing to argue about. And then also, you could have Googled where did they film The Shining. Yeah. That's on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 1 star. Did not research.
No. You need to go to Kubrick's IMDb. If they give stars there, then give him a 1 star for not filming it there.
You didn't follow it.
Well, King's novel is a tragic tale of Jack Torrance and his slow descent into madness. Jack struggles with alcoholism, something King was also battling at the time he wrote the novel, and longs to be a good husband, father, and writer. After accepting a position as the caretaker of the Overlook Hotel to try and repair his damaged family, the evil that lives within the hotel convinces Jack he must kill his wife Wendy and young son Danny, who has telepathic abilities. Kubrick's adaptation had several major changes from the novel, particularly in how Jack, played by Jack Nicholson, was depicted.
I don't know Jack Nicholson personally yet. Probably doesn't tweet. but I don't know that you could, even if you read the book, and who knows if you did or not, and even if you're Stanley Kubrick, I don't know that you could really direct him much. He seems like he's like kind of a loose cannon.
I think Jack does what Jack wants to do. Yeah. Well, in the book, he's a sympathetic figure at first, and then, he's like the protagonist and the antagonist. In the movie, he just starts out, as Stephen King said, crazier than a rat in a shit house. Is that the expression?
Crazier than a shithouse rat.
Crazier than a shithouse rat. Thank you. Again, we need
this is why live shows are better.
Room when we record so they can just yell things at us to help us. So you never felt sorry for him. So there wasn't like a flip where you're like, oh, now I feel something. He thought, which I think this would have been very interesting, that Christopher Reeve should have had the part.
Interesting.
I think that would.
It would have been scarier to see somebody that everybody pictured as this
Superman.
He's a hero and he's Clark Kent's very lovable and interesting. Hot. He was. Christopher Reeve could get it.
And Jack Nicholson had recently done One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, so everyone kind of already had that image of him. So Stephen King was worried that people would also, just like with Christopher Reeves, you might see him as a wholesome character, that they would just look at Jack Nicholson and think, he's unhinged already.
Yeah, he's already. That's there's actors like that, though, where you see him and stuff, and you're like, oh, that's always that person. And I think, especially if it's the movie after movie, right in a row like that. So,
yes.
They didn't ask us when they adapted the novel, and I think it's probably because I wasn't born. No. So that's probably what happened.
What year was it?
1970.
Yeah, I was not either. Neither one of us were born.
Nope.
We're still rude. They could have figured it out. Well, King has never been shy about his feelings toward the films, telling Deadline.
Last one, I promise. I think The Shining is a beautiful film and it looks terrific. And as I've said before, it's like a big, beautiful Cadillac with no engine inside it.
That was better.
Shorter?
Sick burn, also.
That's right. And then he repeats that insult. He was just on Drew Barrymore as I was watching it in the green room. And Drew Barrymore wants to fuck Stephen King. She was just like, Stephen King's changed all of our lives. Every day I think about how important and amazing he is, and if there was one person in the world who I could give all my organs to save his life.
This isn't 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Drew.
I was like, this is a daytime talk show.
Yeah.
But he repeated that same burn, and he said a big, beautiful car, so he didn't even call it a Cadillac.
Oh, he's downgraded it. You're not even a Cadillac. You're just a car now. Well, in 96, Stephen King returned to the hotel when he produced a miniseries remake of the film, dubbed Stephen King's The Shining, that was actually filmed at the Stanley.
And it's
starring Steven Weber.
Yeah, Steven Weber. Yeah. That's right.
Also, kind of hot.
Yeah.
He can kind of get it.
Also, I liked Wings. That was a funny show.
I fucking hated that show.
What? It was about pilots.
I don't know. I couldn't get behind it.
It's okay.
I thought it was really boring.
It was a time in the 90s where it was any type of job, they would be like, that's a show.
Yeah.
It was like radio, that's a show. And that's like news radio. And then it was like
News Radio is one of my all-time top 5 favorite shows.
Oh, I didn't know it was all-time top 5.
I love it.
Damn.
Yes. God.
News Radio is good.
Phil Hartman's like, that's some of his best work.
Dude.
Dave Foley.
Take a moment.
So good. R.I.P. R.I.P. for sure. While Kubrick's The Shining was not filmed at the Stanley, a different iconic film was shot in the hotel. A scene for the cinematic classic Dumb and Dumber was filmed in the hotel's bar. While staying there, Jim Carrey requested to be put in room 217. However, after only 3 hours, the pet detective bolted from the room, never to return. Do you like that I refer to him as the pet detective?
So good.
There's some actors that once they play a role, they're always that role, and he is always the pet detective.
All right, yeah. He came out and said, alrighty then. No, it was before. No, it was after that. He had like hit after hit after hit in like 1 year.
Yeah. Well, to this day, he's never talked about what happened to spook him so bad.
Oh, man. Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He like looked in the mirror and it was like, "You'll never top Pet Detective," and he's like, "No." In 2021, people will still refer to you as Pet
You're
Detective.
the one that hates Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I don't hate it.
You
and
said
especially,
you hate. She said she hated
I
it.
feel like it's one of those movies that everyone's like, you have to watch it, it's so good. And if you do that to me, I won't watch it just because you said to watch it.
It's a very good movie.
I know, everybody's like, it's so good.
So is the Truman Show. Like
Truman Show's great. Truman Show's great.
A lot of great stuff. Yeah.
Who's the bad guy? Ed Harris? He's
so
great.
hot. God,
Dude,
what's wrong
you
with
talked
me?
about how you were into Ed Harris before. This mountain air's got you going.
I can't breathe, but my God, I'm horny. Well, the Stanley saw a boom in business after the release of Stephen King's book and Stanley Kubrick's film. Ghost hunters, thrill seekers, and lovers of the horror genre traveled from far and wide to walk the same halls that had inspired the iconic, terrifying tale. Long before King's stay, though, the hotel had a reputation for paranormal activity, with guests reporting sightings of Mr. and Mrs. Stanley long after they had passed. While some may think of a hotel full of guests would be a deterrent to guests, that is not the case with the Stanley. In an interview with the Post-Crescent, a 16-year-old named Samantha told the paper,
I wanted to stay in an active room, one with a ghost in it.
her mom, Becky, shared a different sentiment.
I didn't.
Her mom may have had the right idea, as the Stanley Hotel seems to be bursting with a variety of ghosts. Two types of hauntings occur within the Stanley, active and residual. While residual haunts are an energy imprint doomed to repeat itself for eternity, active haunts mean ghosts that have awareness and want to interact with the living.
I want to be open and honest with you all. I've seen several ghosts in my life. And my mom hates when I say this, but my mom's house is haunted.
Because she still lives there.
She's like, no, it ain't.
She refuses to acknowledge it.
Yeah, she refused to acknowledge it. My dad actually saw the ghost when he was alive, too. So, like, it was not just me. But it was a residual haunt of a woman running down this hallway in my parents' house. And the hallway wall has cutouts to the living room. So it's almost like windows. So I could see, especially like around 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody running. And then I've also the
Witching hour.
It's the witching hour. Which I stayed up until last night. And the only thing I saw was Dr. Fraser Crane on the television as I watched old episodes of Frasier. It's another one. They're like, psychiatrist on the radio? That's a TV show.
Heather this morning said, could y'all sleep? The wind was just banging the windows. I was like, I had one of the best night's sleep of my life. It was great. I was like, well, we sleep with a lot of white noise on those, so we had like a fan and an app on our phone. She's like, well, I slept with Frasier, the whitest noise of all.
There's no whiter noise than Kelsey Grammer.
Sinisterhood will be right back. In case you need a refresher, here is why Thrive Cosmetics is freaking amazing. Thrive Cosmetics products are made with clean, high-performance, skin-loving ingredients. Their clinically proven formulas not only highlight your best features, they actually improve your skin over time.
All Thrive Cosmetics products are formulated without parabens, sulfates, and phthalates.
Thrive Cosmetics never tests on animals. They're Leaping Bunny and PETA certified as 100% vegan and cruelty-free.
Thrive Cosmetics has a bold mission that's truly bigger than beauty. For every product purchased, Thrive donates to help women thrive. Women emerging from those experiencing homelessness, surviving domestic abuse, or fighting cancer, and more.
Thrive Cosmetics also has a bunch of holiday sets available for this holiday season. For a limited time, you'll be able to save up to 25% off of some of their bestsellers.
Our favorite products are most definitely the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara and Defying Gravity Eye Lifting Cream, which is basically like beauty sleep in a bottle.
I was getting assistance with makeup at a big box retailer, and someone said, do you need mascara? And I said, I use the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara from Thrive. And they go, oh, that's the best in the market. You're all set.
It's so good.
Love it. And I totally agree. Plus, Thrive's Bigger Than Beauty mission is amazing. For every product purchase, they are committed to supporting nonprofit partners with donations of funds or products, which is truly unique and inspiring.
I love everything about Thrive Cosmetics. Their products are the best I've ever used, and their Bigger Than Beauty mission is truly inspiring.
You are going to love them as much as we do. Visit thrivecosmetics.com/Sinisterhood for 15% off your first order.
This is an exclusive offer you can only get here. That's Thrive, CAUSEMETICS.com/Sinisterhood for 15% off your first order. Thrivecosmetics.com/Sinisterhood.
I know some of you are sleeping on a saggy old mattress at night, and you deserve better than that. It is time to give yourself an upgrade.
Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why would you buy a mattress made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way that you sleep.
Everybody is unique, and Helix knows that, so they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattresses great for cooling you down if you sleep hot, and even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers.
I took the Helix quiz, and I was matched with the Sunset Luxe mattress because I wanted something that felt pillowy soft and because I sleep on my side.
I love my Helix mattress. It's a huge upgrade over what I used to have. Helix is awesome, but you don't need to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine.
So if you're looking for a mattress, you take the quiz, you order the mattress that you're matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door shipped for free. You don't ever need to go to a mattress store again.
Just go to helixsleep.com/creepy and take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life.
They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. That's so many nights. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you are going to love it.
Helix is offering up to $200 off of mattresses orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/creepy.
That's helixsleep.com/creepy for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. The pillows are the best pillows ever, guys. Do it for the pillows, if for nothing else. Called Disneyland. Oh, that's your line. Called
Disneyland for ghosts.
by Nightly Spirits. The Stanley has activities to keep spirits well entertained in the afterlife. The hotel's music room is home to a grand piano. It is said the sound of music will drift from the room even when nobody, or at least nobody alive, is inside. It's thought that Flora sits at the bench and plays her favorite songs.
And this was part of our ghost tour last night, and Elizabeth told us that during the pandemic, when the hotel was closed, that there were workmen out in the lobby. I do like that she's like, it was great because there were no guests here, so they just made a huge mess. They didn't have to clean it up. And I was like, well, I don't think workmen are, I get it, it's a messy job. But anyway, but she said that they kept saying, somebody's playing music in there for us, but there was no one there. And then she said if people stayed above the music room in the guest room, that she would say they would call down to the front desk and be like, is the music going to stop at all? But there was no one there.
There's no one there. And then we said the people above us were going to call down to the front desk and say, why is there a trumpet
solo
down in the, and we're like, that's just us because our stomachs are full of gas.
We got the altitudes, which the name of both is our affliction and our quartet, our band.
What we need, okay, so are Paris and Tommy in it? Because the quartet's 4.
Yeah, well, I was counting them in.
Or a duet or a toot-et.
A toot-et. A tuto.
Oh, I've debated whether I should have said that.
It's
now
great.
I'm like, I shouldn't have. I wish I hadn't.
Edit that out, Tommy. Edit that out later.
Yeah, Tommy, edit that out. Another lively room, often filled with music, is the concert hall, built specifically for Flora Stanley and located in a separate building east of the main hotel. But the living aren't the only ones that appreciate the sprawling space that's able to seat up to 300 guests. According to the Fort Collins Coloradoan, is that what you guys call yourselves?
Oh, by the way, we got so many DMs because people in Connecticut are not connectors, which would be great, or Connecticers, which would make sense. They're like, we're all nutmeggers.
We're like,
I was like, nope.
give me 1,000 guesses. I'm not guessing that.
Not even one time.
Connectors makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Coloradoan makes a lot of sense.
Totally makes sense. Coloradan. Coloradan.
Do you say Colorado or Colorado?
Rado. That was a cacophony.
You say Rado? Yeah. I say Rado, but I'm not from here, so I'm going to default to what you guys say.
You say Rado, I say Rado.
I'll say Rado.
Colorado.
Like, do you say Texas or do you say...
Texas.
And we're like, Texas. Texas, always, yes.
That's what I say before I drop it.
The hall is the location of the most active haunts on the property. 2 active spirits wander the room. Paul, a former caretaker who seems to have maintained his duties beyond the grave, and Lucy, an unregistered guest who took up residence in the concert hall. Down in a lower level room where Lucy was said to stay, visitors have reported having the door slam and reopen repeatedly, likely in an effort to get all the tourists out of her room. Mrs. Stanley makes some appearances in the concert hall as well, reportedly sitting in the same seat she was assigned during her life.
This sounds like Mrs. Stanley sitting in the same seat she was assigned in her life. Sounds like me, because when I go to restaurants, I like to sit in the same seat that I sit every time.
You're like a mobster.
I do, like near the door, no back to the door. So I highly relate. But we went in here. We got to go in the concert hall last night. It was really cool. We learned about what happens when you die.
We did not know. Apparently, there's some rules we didn't know. One, you can come back at whatever age you want.
Yes.
Never knew that.
Yeah,
Thought you died and that was your age.
No.
And then you can come back wherever you want to.
You just appear any place you want to go.
Yeah.
It's fine. Although, if maybe this job I would want to do even if I died, but it was like, well, his job was to like throw out unruly people. Okay, now thinking about that, that would be a fun job to do in the afterlife as well, especially if you're a ghost, you scare the shit out of them. Mm-hmm. But also, she was real clear and was like, don't believe what you read on the internet. Because the internet would have you believe that tragic things happen here and every ghost in this place is happy. They want to be here. They love the hotel. They're not scary. Management's not making me say this.
None of them died here. She kept saying none of them died here.
None of them died.
That's not true because one of them was crushed beneath the hotel.
Yeah, that was later.
So some of them died there.
They didn't die here. They died under here. I was like splitting hairs. But yeah, I love that. It was like, the internet's full of it. But she said, yeah, one person was an adult at the hotel, and then when they died, he chose to revert to a 9-year-old boy and sit in a stairwell for eternity. And I was like, you know what? What do you always say? Don't yuck somebody's yum. I was like, all right, well,
if that's what you want to do. But from what the internet told us was that Lucy had sought shelter down below, and then they kicked her out, and she froze to death, Jack Nicholson style. But then Elizabeth was like, we have no proof that happened.
She was like, any evidence of that's been destroyed, so you can't prove that. I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. But yeah, it was a lot of like, this is a great happy place. All the ghosts are very happy and they want you here. It's like, and then that's when she said, 40 years from now, you'll come on a ghost tour and I'll be here. And it's like, oh God, what? She's like, I'll be giving the tours.
Yikes.
It's like, you've predicted your own death and our future.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Are you real? Like, we never tried. We weren't like, we never.
I didn't touch her. So you're not supposed to do that. So.
Yeah. She also used dowsing rods, which we tried to wait in line for our turn, and we didn't get a turn. To which Heather said, that was just fucking rude. About the people that hogged the dowsing rods for so long that Elizabeth had to go back to the room and get them because the tour had moved on.
Because the tour it's not self-guided. There's a guide, but she's like, just go on in the other room, just keep walking. I was like, do people live down here? It looked like a dormitory. There was a mini fridge. I didn't open it, but I should have. Probably could have because there was not supervision for whole swaths of the tour.
She said before they clock out at night, they have to go back down to the basement to make sure no one's hiding.
Yeah, she said, we don't want to make sure that none of the tour guests are still down here. I was like, is that frequent?
That had to have happened. If that's now on your checklist of closing duties, that has happened.
It definitely has happened.
Or someone did spend the night down there.
At the end of it, she was like, y'all just come back up when you're done. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess you're done with the tunnel part. And it was a little bit of a cramped quarters down there. And, I mean, easily you could have hid behind something and stayed. They wouldn't know.
That's where Pierre is, though. The most haunted room at the Stanley is also the room that Stephen King stayed in, room 217. According to the Fort Collins Coloradoan.
Coloradoan.
All right,
there's an O in there.
There is an O.
It's silent.
The O is silent.
All
This
right.
is like the C is silent in Connecticut. Neither one of those words are spelled the way they should be.
Not trying to trick us.
Well, experts attribute the ongoings of room 217 to Ms. Elizabeth Wilson, not our tour guide, but she wishes it was.
Wait, is it?
Oh my God! It would be. I think it.
She spoke very fondly of Mrs. Elizabeth
She
Wilson.
did. That's because
She was like, Mrs. Wilson loved this hotel.
Well, Mrs. Wilson was the hotel's original housekeeper. During a frightful storm in 1911, Miss Wilson was lighting the lanterns in the room when suddenly there was an explosion. The explosion was so powerful that it sent Mrs. Wilson crashing through the floor into the dining room below. Shockingly, she only suffered 2 broken ankles from the fall. It seems, though, that the house... Would you expect more or less?
Sounds like she's for sure.
It was like a gas leak explosion that sent her rocketing through a floor.
Yes.
That means she landed like
Beat down. She landed like Iron Man.
yeah.
I like to think she crashed through somebody's table.
Yeah. Oh man.
Whoa, my cordon bleu.
Well, she must have felt a connection to room 217 from then on. When she eventually departed from this world, guests reported still seeing her in the room, tending to her duties. Again, it was a lovely hotel. Mm-hmm. Apart from this job, I would never be like, you know where I want to spend the rest of my life? Work.
I love cleaning garbage cans so much. You find so many treasures in there. Mm-hmm. Q-tips, condoms, tissues, hair.
What was the first thing you said?
Q-tips.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
You thought about it because it's not a clean Q-tip if it's in the trash.
No.
It's been in something.
I got the visual. Wasn't good.
And there's a lot of places it could have been. There was a lot. It's kind of like whenever you're at a job and they're like, "You guys, we're a family here," and you're like, "You're tricking me."
You're like, "No, I'm not. My family loves me, and I go home to them every night."
I'm like, my family's at home.
My family doesn't have to pay me to be with them. Like, I'm only here for a paycheck.
Yeah, my family doesn't yell at me when I don't, if I show up late or if I just be like, I don't feel like coming today. Like, it's fine. We're family. I guess unless you're at the Olive Garden, if you are there, you are family. But that's pretty much the only job that's true at. So unless you, but it's like this kind of like undercurrent of like, it's like if you go to apply at the Stanley, they're like, just so you know, this is a job that doesn't end.
Yeah.
You can quit, but when you die, right back here. Whatever age you want to be, you can be any age you want.
Yeah, you can.
You'll be back.
Pick your age, but you will be here for eternity.
Sinisterhood will be right back. There's big news from our favorite home security company. Simply Safe just launched their new wireless outdoor security camera. That's right, Simply Safe, the system that U.S. News and World Report names Best Home Security System of 2021, just got even better.
This brand new outdoor security camera is engineered with all the advanced tech and security features you want and need to help you keep you and your family safe.
It has an ultra-wide 140-degree field of view so you can keep watch over your entire yard. It has 1080p HD resolution with an 8-time zoom. That means you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates to capture critical evidence.
It has a built-in spotlight with color night vision so you can keep an eye on what's going on day and night. It's super simple to set up and usually just takes a few minutes.
And it has an easy-to-remove, rechargeable battery, so it doesn't even need an outlet and can go anywhere on your property.
This camera has it all, and it integrates with your Simply Safe home security system, extending its protection to the outside. Together, it means every door, window, and room are protected, and now your property will be too.
To learn more about an exciting new Simply Safe wireless outdoor security camera, visit simplysafe.com/creepy.
What's more, Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera by offering 20% off your entire new system and your first month of monitoring service for free when you enroll in interactive monitoring.
Again, that's simplysafe.com/creepy. It's been a long, tough couple of years, hasn't it? And you deserve rest. We all do. You deserve relaxation. You deserve comfort. Fall into comfort and make it a top priority this season. And who is more of an expert in comfort than Brooklinen?
Brooklinen was started to create beautiful, high-quality home essentials that don't cost an arm and a leg. And you guys, oh, they nailed it. These sheets, like butter, I tell you. So nice to sleep on.
Butter. Well, Brooklinen works directly with manufacturers to make luxury, butter-like sheets available directly to you without the luxury level markups. So you get their amazing array of products at a reasonable price.
Brooklinen has something for your every comfort need. Ideal for a seasonal refresh because they're launching new products, colors, and patterns all the time.
We're telling you, the buttery soft and breathable sheets, plush and absorbent towels, cozy robes, and comfy loungewear you will want to put on and never take off.
They're so confident in their core products that they even come with a 365-day warranty. And their fans are confident too. They've received over 75,000 five-star reviews and counting.
And their customer service, clearly they get their 8 hours every night because they're a dream to work with if you ever happen to have an issue.
So give yourself the comfort refresh you deserve and get it for less at Brooklinen. Go to brooklinen.com and use promo code SINISTER to get $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100.
That's BROOKLINEN.com and enter promo code SINISTER for $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's brooklinen.com, promo code SINISTER. Match 3 games can be a lot of fun, but it seems like most of them are the same. The themes and characters change, but overall, it's the same boring format. Until now.
Switchcraft is a brand new take on Match 3 games. As you play, you unlock pieces of a beautiful, magical, and gripping graphic novel.
Switchcraft is a mobile game with a unique blend of TV-worthy writing, choose-your-own-adventure-style narrative, and thousands of magical Match 3 levels.
In Switchcraft, you take on the role of a witch at Pendle Hill, the world's top academy of witchcraft.
Play your way through hundreds of enchanting Match 3 levels, revealing a dark and winding mystery story.
It all starts with the disappearance of your best friend. Now it's up to you to unravel the mystery of her disappearance using your magical Match 3 skills.
Along the way, you'll find unique characters, a gripping story, and even a little romance.
The best part is that your choices in the game determine the outcome of the story, so you're in the driver's seat.
Download Switchcraft for free and unlock the magical mystery. When it comes to my socks, they must be comfortable, and Bombas socks are the most comfortable I've ever worn, but that's just one reason why I love them. The other is the good I'm doing being a Bombas customer.
For every Bombas item you buy, they donate an item to those experiencing homelessness.
Bombas started by making socks after learning they're the #1 most requested item in homeless shelters. Then they started making underwear and shirts too.
Bombas socks, underwear, and t-shirts are super soft and made to last. With their 100% happiness guarantee, they are confident you will be happy with your Bombas products or your money back.
From fabric to fit to feel, everything Bombas makes is made to feel good on everyone.
I love these socks so much. I first got these socks as a gift from Tommy last year for Mother's Day, and they are my favorite socks. In fact, when we were just traveling on tour, I was a big old idiot and accidentally only packed one pair of my Bombas. I wore them for 3 days in a row because they were so comfortable. They have this special padding in the arch of your foot so your foot feels supported, and they're just the right height, and they're so soft. I love them so much.
I don't know if this is one of their guarantees, but I'll say this was day 3 that I was sitting beside you on the couch. I distinctly remember they were Bombas socks. It says it right across the toe. No stink. It was great.
Thank you.
Stink-free feet.
I also love that they have an L and an R on them.
That's right.
So, some socks, you're I could wear these on any feet. Not these. They're this one goes on your left and this one goes on your right.
I need the help.
And get this. Thanks to Bombas customers, they've just donated their 50 millionth clothing item.
That's 50 million brand new pairs of socks, underwear, and shirts given to those who need it.
There's so much more comfort to have and so much more to give with Bombas. Get 20% off your first order at bombas.com/creepy.
That's BOMBAS.com/creepy for 20% off your first order. Bombas.com/creepy.
Some guests have reported extra housekeeping on objects moving. TikToker Dominique Galves stayed in the Stanley in February of 2021 and reported that as she took an afternoon nap in room 217, she felt a hand on her face and woke to see a shadow looming over her. Then throughout the night, she heard
something going through my luggage.
And someone rifling through her purse, followed by light footsteps.
If you're a ghost and you steal somebody's wallet, you can't go to jail. That's the rules. That's the law. So that might be a reason if you like to be a housekeeper and you're a little mischievous housekeeper, just into eternity, you can dig through people's shit.
I will say, though, we did discover pretty quickly that the doors don't really shut.
No.
So it'd be real easy and then, like, we were walking around and, like, doors were just, like, cracked, like, straight up The Shining style. I was like, don't push that door open. There's gonna be a woman in a bathtub. Luckily, we only had showers. But, yeah, so I hope it was a ghost or somebody was just, like, straight up in her room.
She got rifled through.
Mm-hmm. So here is something that happened to me last night.
Oh.
So, yeah. We were sleeping, and I woke up because I had to go to the bathroom, and I sat up, and I was like, oh, Tommy's getting up to go to the bathroom, because I saw, like, a shadow figure sitting on the end of the bed. Mm-hmm. And then I looked over, and Tommy was laying next to me asleep. And I was like, well, I still have to pee, so I'm going to get up. But I didn't feel, like, scared. It's also, like, I don't know, I had a couple glasses of wine. It could have been, like, anything, but it could have also been a shadow figure.
It was the red rum punch we had.
It was the very overpriced red rum punch. That was good, but was it $16 a glass good? No, it wasn't.
But the cherry, she's like, I'm going to go in the back and get you the special cherries, and I'm only now just being like, what does that mean? Because I 100% got a straw and was like digging down in there. I was like, I'm not leaving the cherry behind.
No. After I was like, get that cherry. We did not know that cherries are a big thing here, apparently.
We thought you were going to win, so they're maybe not a big thing. I don't know.
Not. Leanne.
Cherries? No?
She also didn't know this, and she is from the area. So when we were up there, like, everything had cherries in it. And then there was, like, all this stuff you could buy with cherries.
Yeah.
Cherries were, like, a huge thing.
Paris bought a jug of cherry juice and was just sucking it down. No, it says no sugar added. He goes, don't you want some of this? I'm like, no. I can see the label.
Well, I feel like we've been gaslit because cherries are not a thing.
No.
Peaches?
What? Peaches? Peaches are my favorite fruit. We did not see any
Not a
peaches.
goddamn peach.
I love peaches.
There's like a cabal of cherry farmers working with the Stanley management.
Yeah.
And there's cherry pie. Yeah, there's cherry. There's like a trailer that was like pies, and I was tempted. So you could. That's how you get me.
Good. There was also that little shop called You Need Pie. I was like, I do.
Every day.
Always. Yeah.
Every day of my life.
While Mrs. Wilson may have died, her 1900s values did not. Unmarried guests staying in the room have reported that while sleeping in the bed, they felt a cold presence come between them. Upon waking, the male guest will often find his suitcase packed and by the door. Apparently, Mrs. Wilson's way of letting them know it's time to check out.
Or
So passive-aggressive.
I've taken the liberty of packing your things. Or it's Mrs. Wilson's values are very 2021 because she's trying to slip on in that bed. A cold present?
Yeah. She's like, are you looking for a third? Yeah. Yes. Because of the great amount of snowfall at the hotel, which we witnessed.
Yes.
It was a flurry, but it seemed like a lot to us. Underground tunnels were formerly used to get between the main hotel and staff residences. One worker, the hotel's head baker, was sadly crushed to death. You know what? Was happily crushed to death.
Yes. I just want to say there's no evidence that he was sadly crushed.
He was singing a merry tune and dancing a jig when he was crushed to death by these rocks.
And he's like, finally, I can stay here forever now.
Well, the tunnel caved in, and now it said he stays down in the tunnel, forever walking back and forth to work. Guests that have toured this part of the hotel have reported the smell of baked goods in the air.
Well, we were down there last night, And this is where Pierre lurks.
Yeah.
So they say he was a Frenchman that was staying at the hotel. And
No, he was helping build
I'm not
it.
staying at the hotel. He was working on the hotel. And that's when our tour guide said, he has appeared to others, and I want him to appear to me. And I tried to lure him to appear to me. And Tommy was like, she's great. She had a very funny shtick, because then she said, I like to sing the French national anthem. Come on, join me. And then she started singing the French national anthem.
And everyone's like,
it was so impressive.
I don't know. I barely know our anthem. I don't know another country's anthem.
Can't hit those high notes. But she did say that some people have also heard, hello?
Yeah. Hello? In 2019, the carriage house at the Stanley was painstakingly restored to keep the building's original structure. While the original building housed automobiles, it now serves as a restaurant and performance venue. Resident paranormal investigator at the hotel, such a fucking cool job.
Goals.
Kalia Sek told the crew from Ghost Adventures that while visiting the preserved building, she was grabbed and had her arm yanked on until she begged the ghost to let her go. When the ghouls in the carriage house had been challenged, for instance by saying that the building was abandoned and unimportant, fixtures have been known to come crashing down from the ceiling above.
Again, if you're going to have to work the same job forever, I don't think that, harassment rules apply either.
No.
You can't be yanking on your coworker.
You can do whatever you want in the afterlife to the living.
Maybe they're trying to get fired because that's how they can move on.
Oh. Like you have to help them cross over
yes,
from
it's like
their
the limbo
place of employment to wherever else they want to go.
They have to let them, lay them off. You're free to
they're
go.
all trying. Yeah. Arguably the most haunted hotel is the fourth floor. Here the disembodied voices of children laughing, never fun, can be heard. Doors open and slam shut by themselves, and lights flicker on and off. When the hotel was originally built, the fourth floor was an attic. It then became the floor dedicated to rooms for female employees, their children, and nannies. It's the playful giggling that guests hear from the children that once called the hotel home. They were very happy. None of them died there.
None of the children died.
They all lived very happy lives. That's what she said about the other. He lived to be 90. He lived a very long life. It's like, how do you know any of this? Have you kept up with the little boy? And they all came back here because they spent a week at the Stanley. That was just epic.
They loved it so much. Yeah, that's every one of them was like, these kids are not tragic ghosts. They're joyful ghosts. So if you see them at the foot of your bed, just get up and play with them. What are you doing? It's rude.
If you could be any age when you're a ghost and go back to anywhere, what are you choosing?
I could go anywhere?
Well, that's what she said. You can haunt anywhere and be any age you want.
This isn't in any, religious text. It's just this is what I think what happens when you die. I would be, oh, man. If I could be any age, this is a good question. Maybe my physical peak.
Okay.
Which isn't today. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe 18, 19, 20. And then, but I have the brain of old me, but the perky tits of young me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you can create yourself wherever you want in Elizabeth's world.
we to Frankenstein ourselves. That's true. The ass of today and the tits of yesteryear.
A memoir by Heather McKinney.
Or title of your sex tape, although I don't know if you want to. And then haunt anywhere? Oh, man, that's a good one, too. I'd probably all my enemies. We talked about this.
Yeah. You're going to your enemies'
fuck
houses.
with them. Yeah. Torment them, whisper just all their deepest secrets in their ear. Or not deep, their deepest insecurities in their ear. People really do hate you. And they're like, I'm a monster. You think I'm nice. I think I'm pretty nice, but I hold grudges. I never forget.
She has a book.
Laughs nervously. What about you? What age are you going to be? What year of tits are we getting from me?
Tit year, I'm going to go 17.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, 17, 96 was a good year for me.
Yeah. Go fine wine.
Yeah.
These are with the 96 tits.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just like, it was just like, I was a junior in high school. That's how old I am. And it was just like a super fun year. So, but I want to have the brain of me.
Yes, same.
So I can go back to all like the boys and be like, fuck off, you're nothing.
You're gonna amount to nothing.
Yeah, you're like, you see these tits? You're never getting them now. Yeah. But then I'm gonna find Tommy in whatever universe he's in, and then so we're still gonna get together, and we're still gonna have our ghost children. So we're still gonna, but basically, I just want 17-year-old tits, is what
On your own body.
I'm not like I don't
Come on.
want them. I like want them on me. I want my whole self from 17. Yeah. Yeah.
Not the brain.
Not the brain. No,
Same.
my brain was garbage.
Same.
Back then. Yeah.
Man, I found my poetry spiral.
Oh God. I just felt embarrassed for you.
Leanne just threw her head back and laughed. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm writing poetry. God.
Oh God. Yes. I found a diary at my mom's house and I opened it and I immediately was like, oop. I was just like, the shame. Yeah, it washed over me.
The good thing is because when we were younger, and my poetry spiral is, I can choose to share that with you, but I went down I was reading Vox articles about cringe TikTok today.
Oh.
And like,
It's out there forever.
Dunzo, you're couch guy all of a sudden, and you didn't want to be couch guy. You didn't want to be lady singing her sad like September in New York song, but you become that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, not me. My poem September in New York will stay private.
It was great.
Till I'm ready.
Yeah. Lord Dunraven, the man responsible for seizing control of much of the land that Stanley was built on through manipulation techniques in the late 1800s, is said to have checked into the Stanley but never checked out. He previously built a hotel of his own in the area that burned down in 1911. He died at age 85 in 1926, and it seems he never left his beloved Estes Park. According to Kalia Sek, a Historic Hotels of America inspector was given a tour to inspect the Stanley. In room 401, when the hotel employee opened the closet door for the inspector, he screamed, claiming he saw a man standing in the closet staring back at him. There was a mirror. Don't we leave that part out of the story.
But the door had been unlocked and someone had just hit
It was Lord Dunraven. On the walls next to 401, there was like a plaque. They really lean into it. Like the Stanley is like, we have ghosts. Come here. This is the only thing that's keeping this hotel open. So they have like they have
everything Shining themed too. Like I went to
Very.
get brunch and they were like, do you want the Rise and Shining? And it's like bacon and eggs and potatoes. And then my favorite was like the room 217 special. And I was like, is that the one where the ladies' boobs fall off because of the bathtub? And they're like, it's mascarpone French toast. And I was like, just like in the book.
Yeah.
This was not in the book. But yeah, they do definitely lean
We
in.
had the red rum at the bar, and then we had the filet medallions with the room 217 red wine demi-sauce.
Demi-sauce.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had some good Colorado cider. Did I say Colorado right?
Yeah, Colorado.
Had a hedgehog on the can.
Colorado, but you still had the JFK. There was still like
Colorado.
some Massachusetts
My
in
fellow
there.
Coloradoans.
Man, I've said Rado my whole life. I got to switch to Rado.
That's how they
Sorry,
know.
guys. That is how they
If you
know.
go
I'm not
into
from here.
a dispensary and you're like, I'm so glad to be in Colorado, they're like, get out.
They're like, slam the door in my face. Like, I'm so sorry.
You're not worthy of this good.
I'm like, but I'm from
Did the kids
Texas.
say kush?
And they're like, okay, you can come in. It's fine.
I'm trying to be cool with talking about drugs because when we were in Portland, I did drugs.
Heather did drugs, you guys.
It's great. I was like, are we doing marijuana chews today? And Christy and Tommy were like, I don't want to waste this on you. I took my calcium chews and now I'm going to do my marijuana chews. So I got to be
She
cool
did
about it.
have to Google first if they were gluten-free.
I did.
They were. Yeah, they were. And it was a very fun evening.
I recently, when I got my colonoscopy recently, which I kept calling being anal probed, and my doctor was like, could you not refer to it as that?
I'm like, no,
But
I
he
will
was-
only refer to it like
He was
that.
also doing an endoscopy, and I was like, so I'm going to call it Chinese finger trapping, and he was like, no, please. Shout out to Dr. Martin, who's been more inside me than any lover. And was very gentle. He's great.
Wow.
He's so, man, anyway, I could go on about how much I love my gastroenterologist.
I mean, you've got to. You can't just let anybody up inside there.
You can't. But whenever I was getting ready for it, they were like, okay, like, you know, do you smoke tobacco? No. Like, how many alcoholic beverages do you have a week? Whatever. And she's like, have you ingested any illegal substances in the last 2 weeks? And we had gotten back from Portland, and I was like,
they'll know.
And I was like,
still inside me.
Yes, but I was in Portland and it was legal and I can't get in trouble. And she was like, I just have to mark a paper.
She's like, we don't.
She's like, I'm not gonna narc you out. It was like my first time saying yes.
They're like, if you see it coming up there, I swear we were in a state where it's decriminalized. Fine. Well, room 428 is considered to be one of the most haunted rooms on the property. Those that have stayed here have claimed to see a ghastly cowboy. Those familiar with the area believe this could be the ghost of Rocky Mountain Jim Nugent, the first guide of Estes Park and a famous hunter and trapper. As fate would have it, the cowboys survived a grizzly bear attack, only to later be shot to death by a rival guide. That is such a bitch. You're like, we fucking invincible. A bear couldn't take me down. They're like, you know, it can, a bullet. You can't outrun that.
Also, now we have a person that exploded and another one who fought.
Everyone is happy that lives at the Stanley. All the ghosts are happy. Well, known as a ladies' man while alive, female guests say the ghost of the cowboy can be quite handsy. Some have felt a ghostly goose from behind, while others have received a kiss from beyond the grave as they lay sleeping.
God.
Heather goosed me in the tunnel last night. I thought it was Pierre, and I was like, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It was just me.
I was writing notes in my notebook, and I just took my pen and was like, but.
It is not uncommon for historic hotels to boast claims of paranormal activity. What has contributed to the Stanley Hotel earning the reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States? It could be because the hotel is built on quartz and limestone, as well as nearby flowing water. These natural features are known as conductors of energy. Kalia Sek confirmed to the Discovery Channel that anytime there is an area with a high level of ghostly energy, it's usually near one of these features.
And there's a bunch of rocks in the basement.
It's
holding it up.
So the whole area is kind of just a giant rock, right?
And that's a mountain for you.
Yeah, that's a mountain.
One big rock.
Yeah.
When I was Googling, do mountains make you fart? Before I got to make you, so I typed in do mountains, and it popped up and said have roots, and I was like, I want to know that. And it's like some theory the geologists are all about. I guess you can't. They're like, it's iceberg style, man. That shit goes deep.
Oh, like you only see like 10% of it. The rest is underneath.
I guess so.
Damn.
It's one of those you can't prove it. There's no evidence of. No, there's like people that study it. I'm gonna get DMs now. Me and science, I gotta stay away from that. I'm telling you, after I said Aragon instead of argon beams on a Patreon segment, never live that down. I think about it every day. Like I said, I hold grudges also against myself. So just look in the mirror. I'm like, I look nice today. Aragon.
Anytime you think you're getting too big, just Aragon. Yeah.
There's always
like,
somebody.
Colorado.
Or when we forgot Neptune when we listed all the planets.
Yeah. Or when you said Canadian currency was a loonie.
No, or like a dooney or versus a toonie.
You called it a loonie, but it's a toonie.
There's like
it is a loonie, but it was a toonie.
There's like two different ones, and I said one of them wrong, and I clearly did not learn from my mistake. But yeah, so I guess it goes down all the way to when it gets the creamy center of the earth.
Side of the earth.
Yeah. If there's a mountain on one side of the earth, you turn it, the rest of it's sticking out the other end.
A fixture inside the hotel is thought to be another conduit of spiritual energy. The grand staircase in the Stanley has been given the moniker
the Vortex,
as some believes it is a paranormal portal due to the tornado of ghostly activity. According to Nightly Spirits, hotel guests report feeling cold spots on the stairs, as if a spectral being passed right through them. Others have felt dizzy. When guests later review pictures they've taken on the staircase, they've noticed the images are distorted or show unexplained orbs. Mr. and Mrs. Stanley have also been seen on the staircase, lovingly walking hand in hand.
Oh,
So nice.
I experienced this. I was cold on that staircase.
Yeah, same.
Extremely dizzy, short of breath. Turns out that's altitude sickness.
Yes.
Full of farts.
Different.
That's part of
Yes.
the vortex for you.
Zach Bagans, of course, stayed at the famed hotel. Not wanting to rustle the spirits in his room. Now, this accent impression, she's gonna kill. You guys know that. Zach told the camera,
As soon as I got my keys, shut the door, I pretty much said, all right, listen, I'm gonna have to get naked a couple of times to take a shower. Sometimes up in the night, I get up to get water, and I can't guarantee I'm wearing everything. And he just shouts this into the camera, and there's a young man next to him who's got his hands in his pockets who's like, I'm an intern here. Why are you? Stop that.
well, if they weren't dead already, they would be after that. So
The ghosts are like, I can't move on. This is my final resting place. Zach Bagans, ding dong, I'm out of here.
Zach told Madame Vera, the hotel's resident psychic, also another killer job, that he felt unwelcome by the hotel's ghosts.
As soon as I started walking down the hallways, I started immediately picking up on a feeling different people were checking me out. And it didn't feel too welcoming. I don't know, is that maybe just me?
Madame Vera then pointed at Zach, telling fellow ghost hunter Aaron,
They want him out.
the ghosts speak for us all.
He was like, I think I saw a ghastly figure walk past me. And she's like, no, that's an employee. There's complaints.
Just please leave.
The doors don't shut all the way, so we have seen you hanging brains, sir. Also, the windows are very open.
Yeah. Do you think it wears a tiny affliction t-shirt? It's definitely pierced. There's definitely a chain of some sort. 100%. You can't convince me otherwise.
You know how they make those like cozies for your like beard that look like a tiny sweater? Mm-hmm. It's that, but it's much smaller.
Yeah.
I want to say this. Somebody on the Instagram comments, of which all I read them all. And
So be nice.
if someone's like, your show fucking sucks, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna write your username down. No, I'm kidding. I'm like, fair enough, you don't have to like it. But someone was like, I'm hurt that you insulted Zach Bagans. And I was like, he does enough to himself every day just waking up like that. I don't think we're doing anything to his reputation.
No. Author and paranormal investigator Richard Estep told Out There Colorado that one of the most unique aspects of the Stanley is that the ghosts there are reported to haunt the hotel didn't actually die there.
Usually, haunted locations have a history with lots of blood and death, but the Stanley doesn't have that, which often takes people aback. They want to know how many deaths have occurred here, and it's about as many as other hotels, which is to say, not that many. But some. Not zero.
Rather, they chose to return and spend their afterlife at the Stanley, leading Estep to believe
They deeply love this hotel, and I'm being paid by management to say this.
Oh, yeah, he and Elizabeth. She did mention her husband. She did not mention his name.
Yes.
Richard Estep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. The dead aren't the only ones that love the Stanley. Hundreds of tourists flock to the hotel daily to enjoy a drink at the same bar Stephen King was served, stroll through the hedge maze that was installed in 2015, partake in one of the famous nighttime ghost tours of the hotel and grounds, and if they're brave enough, to stay the night in one of the haunted rooms.
And have their things rifled through.
Or have a kiss given to you just in the middle of the night.
You get spooned by the lady that survived an explosion. You know she knows how to fuck.
There are no shortage of guests that are adamant that they have had an encounter with someone or something from the other side. When Town Square NoCo asked for readers to submit their scariest encounters, there were several spine-tingling submissions.
Ghost kid at the end of my bed in the middle of the night. Half skull face, half regular, pale, ghost face.
We went in the elevator and met an older man. When we turned to say goodbye, he was gone. I swear it was a ghost.
I've had a water bottle thrown at me. Doors slam. A small ball rolled down the hallway on the 4th floor. And I had a little girl clearly say, hello, in the basement.
My husband was at the Stanley with his family. They took a group photo standing in front of a railing. When the picture was developed, you could see the railing through their legs. My in-laws are ghosts. Did not die there.
We were walking around the hotel and my daughter had a fairly big strand of hair go horizontal. Her hair was wet, so it was not static electricity. And she's not the spokesperson for Wendy's hamburgers either.
And perhaps the scariest encounter of all.
A salesman tried to sell me a timeshare.
We did encounter a girl on the stairs last night that we walked up and her friend was taking a picture and her hair was all staticky. And Heather goes, "You've been touched." And then we just walked off. We said that to a minor and then we just walked off like nothing had happened.
Oh, yeah.
When we were checking out today, y'all went downstairs and me and Paris were going to meet y'all. And he shocked the shit out of himself on the elevator. And the elevator is like from here to us now.
It's also the original elevator. It's very cool.
I wish they would have told me that before I wrote it about 6 times. They're like, it's from 1909. And they're like, we updated it in the 40s. I was like, it's not making me feel better.
But yeah, so I think it may be a little mountain of electricity, or he also was touched by a ghost. It was maybe the elevator operator was like, get your hands off my buttons. That was when they said that, like, the elevator, they said, it's haunted by the operator, and they go, well, you get on and you push a button, and he'll just take you to the other floors. So again, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah. You're like, I didn't want to go to the 4. There's 4 floors, first of all. So he doesn't let him do his thing. He doesn't have a lot. He's just stuck in this 3x3 box for the rest of his life.
And then the handle doesn't work anymore because it's no longer hydraulic.
I tried it, and Tommy goes, it's welded shut. I'm like, damn it. Because, again, somebody fucked with it, and they're
100%.
like, this is why you have to check, and we're adding another thing to your checklist. Weld the thing shut, check the basement for guests. This is why we can't have nice things. Well, if you're looking for some spooky fun this Halloween season, check out the haunts of the Stanley Hotel. After all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Just beware of any creepy twins in hallways or what might be lurking behind your shower curtain. And if you decide to venture into the hedge maze on a cold, wintry night, make sure you dress warmly. Otherwise, you may be spending your afterlife alongside Mr. and Mrs. Stanley, a prudish housekeeper, and an overly affectionate cowboy. But also, you can just step right over that maze and walk back in, so it's fine. You're totally fine.
And even
You're
if
not
you
going to die out there.
If you do die there, they will tell your family you did not.
Or they'll say
crazy.
They died doing what they love, figuring out a puzzle. They couldn't have been happier. Look at their smiling, frozen face. Everyone is happy here. Well, so what do we think?
Oh, man. Well, I think it's haunted.
Elizabeth told us, and I quote, every day I come to work, I have multiple paranormal encounters. We're like, we didn't have any. And we're with you during your shift. Well, the dowsing rods, they kind of crossed at one point. The dowsing rods kind of crossed at one point.
True.
Yeah.
Well, and because she's getting real playful with the ghosts, and she's like, sometimes when I asked the ghost a question, because she said cross the dowsing rods to prove that you're here, and then the dowsing rods went opposite, and she was like, sometimes he does that for jokes. And I was like, is it? Or again, the ghost, you're stuck there forever. You're like, I'm gonna fuck with this lady. It's mean. No, I mean, it definitely. I mean, something we talked about this at the Kel's Irish Tavern or the Kel's Irish Pub. When something's been around that long, there's just energy in kind of the building itself of like these are the same stairs. Also, it's hard to build stuff with all the technology we have nowadays. They were with rulers and hammers and whatnot. Good for them that it still stands to this day.
Yeah.
Mostly pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So I think there's, when something like that had a bustle of people back then, and it's especially people there that are, she also said that Flora
would hold seances. So she maybe conjured stuff back then. She goes, it wasn't weird or spooky back then. Everyone had seances after dinner. Like, did they?
I think you mean coffee.
Seances, you know those little things that are twisted and you bake them in the oven. Did you mean a croissant? Okay, well. So there may have been some
residual energy.
Well, an inadvertent conjuring back then that the ghosts were like, or open up like a hellmouth, like Buffy style. So, something like that.
Yeah, I think Tommy and I both agreed that in what was the billiards room, there was like an electricity, kind of like we felt in Kel's Irish Pub.
True.
Yeah, I never felt like anything malicious, probably because they're all like, we have to pretend we're happy, even if they're not. They had to pretend. So, yeah, I think, Yeah,
there's like definitely an energy there. And it was cool to go for the historical part. I mean, Google it in advance. They didn't film the movie there.
We did. We forgot to, we did the Ghost Radar.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull up my Ghost Radar app.
As soon as we talk about Ghost Raiders, see? We just had some paranormal activity up here. Pierre!
Oh,
yes. So when we were at Kel's Irish Pub, we used an app on Heather's phone, very scientific, to detect if there was anything around, and it will say like presence detected. Then it tells you their horoscope sign, which I don't know why we needed to know that, and like the color of their aura and stuff. But then it also like words will appear that like describe it or what they're thinking, and we got the same word in every single room.
2 out of 3.
Don't know why.
The first one, we were in the billiard room, and I pulled out, it's called I Ovilus, which I'll put in the show notes, because everyone always DMs and is like, what's the app? And these are the 3 words we got. Bacon, prayer, cannot. Yeah. And then when we were in the concert,
I cannot with this tour guide. Yeah.
And then we were in Paul's room, which is beneath the concert hall. We got bacon, threat, and fear. And then finally, no, that was another one. Then we were at the end of the hall, past the rooms, in the lobby area of the concert hall, and we got bacon and grandfather.
Yeah. So bacon was a constant thread.
So when I got my Rise and Shining, they asked me if I wanted ham, bacon, or sausage. I went with bacon.
Oh, yeah. That's what they were telling you, like, get the bacon. They were trying to help you out. Yeah.
They still work for the hotel. They're like, go to the lodge and get brunch.
Yeah, it was super fun. I think it'd be fun. We didn't get to stay in like one of the haunted rooms and do like the ghost package where they give you like EVP readers and a coffee mug that says red rum. So it'd be cool to go back and like stay in like one of the super haunted rooms
and try to conjure something. Bring a Ouija board. Okay, well, maybe I won't.
Not in Colorado.
Nailed it. Fuck yeah. And I think too, it's kind of this shows the whole story, especially about how it kind of was fallen into disrepair in the 70s and how they have really embraced the whole Stephen King part. I think it shows the power of like art and a really good story and how it inspires people. And now, like, if you really think about it, it's like a whole economic system going on up in the mountains because of the ghost stuff, the Stephen King stuff, all that kind of stuff. So it was, it's just a story about how Stephen King's great at odd. I'll try. I'm sorry. I listened to his audiobook so many times and I just can't.
I can't wait for him to read all these tweets and reply to us.
No.
I'm very excited about it.
Oh, no.
No, it's going to be great. Yes. I'm very excited.
Maybe we can get on a Zoom and he can walk me through how to talk like him. And then I can walk him through how to talk like me.
Yeah,
Which is nothing. I have no accent.
You can talk more like Stephen King than he can talk like you. I guarantee it. And he'll be like, I'm just going to go watch King of the Hill episodes to get it right.
Bobby Hill, that's what you sound like.
Well, yeah, so that's the Stanley Hotel, you guys.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so normally we do something for our Patreon, but we kind of wanted to do it for you guys tonight.
Maybe we have, ladies and gentlemen, live.
If anybody has any grievances, don't know how. It's upside down.
There we go. So may we have from Ella and or any of our staff friends a microphone set up over here. For COVID reasons, don't line up, but if you have a grievance, late in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to yell, "I have a grievance," and then I'd like you to walk over to the microphone and talk to it. Again, because we got DMs that were like, we can't hear people yelling in the audience, which is fair, so we're going to have you talking to a mic. But to get it started, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, that's cool, but we're going to let you in on our little secret here. So Judge Christie usually resolves disputes from the news or things like that, but we're also now having people write in with grievances, and so I like to get her started with a little grievance.
My rulings are global and they cannot be challenged.
Yes. She is the highest court in the land,
yes.
And the land is all of the world. Both sides of the mountain, pointing on either side. So I've told you a couple of grievances, and it's just fun because then I rack my brain for some stuff. It's almost kind of vaguely like am I the asshole too, but that's fine. So this was happened multiple years ago, and I worked in an office, and I decided to be a cool kid and join a fantasy football league. Mm-hmm. Have I told you this story?
I don't know.
I don't think I have. So a guy we worked with ran the fantasy football league and was excited about it, and a friend of mine was she said, "I'm gonna win this fantasy football league," and she checked the scores every week. She was studying players. I would just pick the fun names, or if they were hot, or the teams that I thought the mascots were the coolest. So I wasn't really playing for keeps, but just I would follow it just to see if I was winning. So when you run a fantasy football league, you are the commissioner, is what you're called, and we all did this through Yahoo Sports or whatever. And so if you're logged in as the commissioner, you have God powers. So you can go and retroactively change things, even after the week closed. And then if you're the commissioner, then you toggle on to sign in as just a player.
I know where this is going.
So my really enthusiastic friend who'd always check the scores was checking Tuesday morning when the final Monday Night Football scores were in, or she checked Monday night after the game, and she was in the lead by a lot. Well, when we looked up Tuesday morning, the commissioner had changed his team and suddenly was winning, had put all these players on the bench. And so we had created a group chat to discuss fantasy football. Again, I was never going to win this. We put $10 in or $20 in, but
principles are principles.
I like to leave notes.
Yep.
And so I just chatted the whole group chat and was like, "Hey man, why did you change all your scores?" to the whole group chat. And he got really mad at me, and he private messaged me and was like, "You made me look like a real asshole to everybody."
You made yourself look like a real asshole.
Right? And so he was like, "I'm just gonna give everybody $20 back or whatever, fuck you." And
So he admitted to cheating?
Well, he said that there was a misunderstanding and he didn't really understand what he was doing. So I always then felt this shame that I was a monster to my coworker and fronted him out in front of the whole group chat, but also I thought the people had right to know. He was like, "You're a whistleblower." I was a whistleblower. That's what Mindy Kaling says. When a kid does it, it's tattling. When a hot woman does it, it's whistleblowing. So I've always felt this kind of slight guilt that I was a monster for fronting him out when
him on blast?
I could have just privately messaged him and be like, "Hey, did you make a mistake?" But instead I was like, "Just wanted to know, Jared, why did you change?" His name wasn't Jared, but he made it sound like I was a monster.
No, he's a monster.
Thank you.
So he didn't even deny it. He just gave everyone their money back to say "Yeah, I know I cheated. Here you go."
I don't think it was a settlement, an out of court settlement of we admit to no wrongdoing. But it was I think his argument was when you're logged in, the website can be confusing, and he thought he was changing it for
It was the end of the season.
Well, it was halfway through the season. So, but it was this one person was "I'm gonna win," and then this was there was wrongdoings. There was a timestamps too, where it says how you're logged in.
Timestamps.
Heather McKinney brings receipts. Screenshots from. Okay, good. Well, I've harbored this for decades.
Well,
shame.
I recuse you of any shame.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So it can be something like that, or if you we talked about one time Paris. We're still gonna get married despite this, but. He vehemently believes that donuts are dessert and not breakfast food.
What? I know, yeah.
Thank you. Now I'm publicly having people boo you. Thank you.
Controversial. It's
I'm
very
sorry, I didn't mean to gavel for you.
You can gavel. Oh, multiple gavels, yeah.
Hell yeah. So something like that, like a petty disagreement with someone in your life. We've had someone who, ex sent them a receipt for their whole relationship.
Not a receipt, a ledger.
It was a ledger, that's right.
Yes.
Money that each of them had spent on one another.
Listen, was that Polybius?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
No, that was Tacoma.
No, yep.
Yeah. Where have we been? Where are we now? We're in Denver, I'll tell you that.
So if you have one, just yell out, I have a grievance.
Hell yeah.
Please come to the microphone and share it with us.
One of my favorite things.
Thank you.
It feels good to say that. I have a grievance. All right, what's your name?
Guys, I'm Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Hey, big fan. I'm really nervous. Okay.
Don't be, we're cool.
So, I'm pretty sure I'm the asshole here. Just gonna put that out there. So, okay, she's got my back. So, long story short, my neighbor got pregnant.
Hell yeah.
And
if they wanted that.
So, we're really good friends, and my husband, I'm so nervous. I'm just
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
appreciate you.
If you're
Thank
nervous,
you.
I told hundreds of thousands of people that I took a shit in my car in a bag.
That did make me feel better. Thank you. Yeah.
That's what we say. Everybody.
I took the embarrassment out of the room just now. You're
Thank
fine.
you.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
I'm very confident now.
Okay,
so,
good.
my neighbor and I are really good friends, and this bitch.
Are you?
So my husband is deployed, and when he left, I was like, "Hey, you can't get pregnant till he gets back, and I get pregnant too." We have this pregnancy.
You got a
pact.
pregnancy pact, yeah.
For sure. We're in high school, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All the kids did. And she just told me, so I planned this really big, snowboard trip. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry you can't go. Because you're pregnant now. Oh, and you're not allowed to go. And I realized that is really petty. But my husband's gonna be back, and I'm not gonna be pregnant yet. So yay!
Yeah.
Oh, a malicious snowboard trip.
Yeah. So that's my issue. Am I an asshole?
Did you
No. Did you know? Did you plan it after you knew she was pregnant?
For sure, I did.
Do you
100%.
do you otherwise like snowboarding a lot? Is this
No.
Oh,
No.
Jesus Christ! I was trying to give you an out, and you were nope.
We're
we
going
got
snowboarding. We got a hot tub. We're getting sushi every night. Hey.
we
There's a person
got
laying-
the Epic Pass specifically because active duty military is wicked cheap.
Oh, okay.
We were $100 Epic Pass. I'm not pregnant. What's up? So am I a jerk? Is really the question.
What is the timeline between your husband getting back and then you going on your trip?
A month.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen.
No.
Karma is gonna catch up to you, and you are gonna be knocked up before you go on that trip. Yeah, but also congratulations, because that's what you wanted.
Right.
So
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically.
Or you get knocked up on a snowboarding trip.
oh yeah, knocked
Girl.
up on a snowboard. Hell of a story to tell your kid one day about how they were conceived. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Gotta get a reality show out of that. Is it? No, I'm saying it should be.
Yeah. I mean,
If you
I'll
get
sign on to
pregnant
that.
on a snowboard, somebody put that on TV. I want to see
Well, they
that.
had that show. I didn't know I was pregnant, and this is I didn't know how I got pregnant. I was fucking on a snowboard.
When you planned it, were you thinking, I'm doing this because I'm mad?
Specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
was she likes snowboarding.
oh, she does. She likes it. You've never been. I mean,
okay with
You're
it.
okay
though.
with it,
Yeah,
you know?
own it.
And I mean, she shouldn't have got pregnant, right? She shouldn't have got pregnant. That's on her. You don't make life big changes unless you can line it up with your best friend. It's also,
Yes.
You can't get
She
pregnant.
broke the
I'm never
friendship
getting
pact.
pregnant
We
again.
had a pact. We had a pregnancy
See, that's the
pact.
thing.
She had a pact. She broke the pact. I mean, lawyer.
Your behavior, if your behavior was direct retribution, revenge for the breaking of the pact, that's still mean. It's real mean. You big snowboarding. You could have done like, we're all going to go to one of those trampoline parks. I don't know, whatever. Something that she didn't love. I could never. In Denver, I can't jump on a trampoline in the regular air.
I make her DD like a lot.
You make her do what?
I make her DD like a lot.
Oh, DD. Oh, designated drive you.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh.
I'm like, you can't do? Drink, let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm super vindictive. Just like really
Is
vindictive.
she okay with all of this? Is
She offers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not because
And
she
then I'm
feels
like,
guilty.
well, can I have like a couple glasses of wine? And she's like, well, I guess.
She feels guilty because she broke the pact. So now
Damn
she's
right
gonna
she
drive you
does.
around all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I mean, are you an asshole? Kinda, but we love you, so and I am conjuring and manifesting that you're gonna get pregnant before that
There you
snowboarding
go.
trip, so it won't matter anyways. And then you're gonna have to eat all that money that you put down for it. So
That's fine.
the universe
fair.
balances things out.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. You have more grievances? Hell yeah.
Make
Come
your
on
way
down.
to the mic.
I always
Make
wanna
your way
say
to
that.
the stand.
Like,
Oh, the stand,
come to the stand, to the witness stand.
witness
the
stand.
microphone stand.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say come on down like Price is Right. Come on down.
Come on down.
You're the next contestant. Don't apologize, please. Come on
You're
through.
good. You're good.
Come on through.
Okay.
All right. What's your name?
This is very trivial. My boyfriend and I together run a virtual farm. He will only let me have 4 chickens. At first, in the budget, I thought we had enough money for like 80 chickens, but it turns out we only had enough for like 20 chickens. But he still limits me at 4, because that's how many we can like feed. But I can feed some of them by hand.
Is this Farmville?
It's Stardew Valley.
Okay. Stardew Valley.
Oh wow, we got some fan. What is it called?
Stardew Valley.
Stardew.
Stardew.
DEW. Stardew Valley.
Oh, okay.
Kids talk about it on the TikTok.
Wait, so if you have it in the budget for 20, why can't you afford to feed them?
Okay, so there's 4 slots to feed them like more automatically. Thank you.
Upgrade your farm.
You gotta upgrade your farm.
Yeah, so we've been fighting about it for like a few weeks. So I just need someone to tell me that I can have more chickens so I can go back home and tell him that I've earned the
I
chickens.
think you absolutely can have more chickens. Have as many chickens as you want.
I agree. So you run this farm together.
Yeah.
So the equitable division of labor.
Yes.
And
Like, do you split hours? You're like, okay, I'm gonna take 8 to noon. You gotta do like noon to 4.
No, we both work all day, but he
On
takes
the
care
farm
of the
or in
cows.
real life?
Sometimes both.
Okay.
He
Sounds
takes
like-
care of the cows, I take care of the chickens, and then we like do the other stuff together.
Do you tell him how many cows he can have?
No.
Okay. Chickens to have. Okay. No, you get as many chickens as you want. You need to upgrade so you get more slots so they're not starving. So you can like feed more. I'm guessing that's what the issue is,
Yeah.
right?
can you rotate them in the slots? Or they once they're in the
No.
slot, they're in it?
Well, the food goes
Once
in
you're
the slot.
you're in it, Heather.
The chickens free roam. They have space outside and
Oh,
indoors.
the free range. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Organic. What is, this isn't relevant to the dispute, but my question is, what's like the ultimate goal of the farm? You get more money and you invest the capital back into the farm and you grow the farm more?
Well, yeah, that's part of it. There's like the economic part, but then also there's like a grander story, and you have to like rebuild the community center and like revitalize the
It's like
town.
it's taken a village to get back to what is the name of your farm?
Friendship Farms.
I love it. That's so wholesome.
I love He's not being a good friend by not letting you have the amount of chickens that you want.
Friendship farms
I
hide the
want real
disputes.
chickens, and Tommy says no. Okay?
What the heck?
I need a virtual farm so I can just have my chicken. Honestly, now we have neighbors that have chickens, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't want the chickens now. But
Virtual chickens are great because you don't have to clean up their poop.
yeah. I used to play Farmville, and so I get it. Like, do you have like? Can you like chat with other people that are playing, and it's like this little community and stuff?
They're all like computer players. So
They're not real people. I played, and you could talk to real people, and like we all became like farm friends. Friendship Farm. It was Friendship Farm.
Original.
it's so cute.
Man.
Yeah, it was. And then I had a baby, and
I have a question. My question's, who died and made him God? Like, why does he get to tell you what to do with your fucking farm?
Okay, this
Y'all
is-
are 50-50 owners. You're like, I'll blow this farm up right now. I'll take them all out. Start over.
I'll starve them all. I don't give a shit.
And I'll start Revenge Farm.
I like historically have played Harvest Moon, which is essentially the same kind of like structure of game, but he's been playing Stardew Valley forever, so I was like, we'll run it how you want. I just like,
Don't be
you default to
deferential.
him. Yeah, don't be deferential.
Don't, just because
Stand your ground.
It's like when you go to a new job and you've been hired to do something and someone's like, oh, well, like Craig's been here 13 years, and it's like, fuck Craig, he don't know. I'm the manager now, motherfucker. Like, Craig would have got promoted. Like, you know what I mean? So if you want me to 50% own your farm and run it, like,
Yeah, you, how many chickens do you want?
well, I wanted 80.
Okay, go higher. Go higher. At least 100.
Triple digits.
Nice round number, like
Triple.
100 chickens, or die.
I will walk. You gotta go in hard on the negotiation.
Okay.
Then he'll be like 100. You only wanted 80, or like 90, and then it's like 95, and you're like, fine, we just went up because I fucked that up in my head just now of how negotiations work. Yeah, you get as many chickens as you want.
Also,
100%.
as a couple of people who run our own friendship farm, which is it's like a 50-50 partnership and stuff. We
Do you have a pig?
You don't. Yes, we do. Our farm has a pig that lives at your house. Thank you for all that.
We need to talk about that. You need to take her out.
I have a goose that no doggy daycare will accept. She's rejected. They were like, she doesn't like dogs. She just wants to be in the break room where the food is. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Sal. Thanks, Mom, for taking care of the dog. But we run a friendship farm, and like, I kicked the bucket. Not in that way.
God!
The actual bucket. I kicked the actual bucket down here.
I'm gonna go to the Stanley. Stanley, we go.
When I die, I'll be there, and then I'll be like, I did die here. But neither of us make proclamations. We tell each one another our feelings, and be like, it's important to me that we do X, and then take the time to listen to the other person or whatever. It's not just like we're doing
Not
this.
the drug.
Well, do X. That is a thing, a named thing, whatever decision we make. So I think if you're going to run a true friendship farm, he's got to give a little leeway.
What's the true meaning of friendship? Meeting each other in the middle? You know? I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the true meaning of friendship is.
It's a question we all have. What's the true meaning of friendship?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
100 chickens!
100 chickens.
100 chickens for you.
All right, we got time
That's
for
like medieval times rulings.
What's that? 100 chickens?
Yeah, like when they just, I don't know. Back in the day, that's like, you get 100 chickens.
You get 100 chickens.
And my daughter.
That's true. They did do that to us.
Yeah, I think we have time for one more.
I think we have time for another grievance.
I have a grievance.
Oh, we have two?
We'll do both.
We'll do both.
Because we're saps.
But
okay.
But suckers.
I heard this grievance first.
And then your grievance is next. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Thank you. What's
This
your name?
might be a little too tall.
What's up?
Oh, the mic.
Might be a little too tall there. Hi, my name's Drew.
Hi.
Hi, Drew.
Hi. So, I got married this year.
Congrats.
And my best friend, who I've been best friends with her since 6th grade, was my maid of honor. And basically, starting probably with my bachelorette party, I had to pay for the whole thing for her. Yeah, and I did that because I wanted her to be a part of it, and she couldn't afford it, so I wanted her to be included. But then she ended up going to Vegas a week later. And she told me, she couldn't afford it, so that's why I paid for it. But then my wedding came around, and on the day, she
I guess didn't act as a maid of honor should. So
What does that mean?
So helping me with my dress
Okay.
or getting things for me.
It's not like she tried to marry your fiance. Okay.
No. Go on.
She didn't do her maid of honor duties.
Yes.
Did she do a speech?
She didn't do a speech.
Whoa!
That's the point of. Sorry, that's the point of
It
being
is
a
the
maid of
point.
honor.
And that was my choice because of how she was acting up until that point.
She was being a dick.
Yeah, so even
The betrayal.
even at my
go on.
bridal shower, she showed up late. Yeah.
I would never.
Whoa! It gets better. But then at my wedding, so I chose her not to do the speech because I was already having bad feelings about it. But then she ended
You
up.
snowboarded her, which is a term I'm
We're gonna start saying that.
That's a new thing I'm gonna say.
Start saying it.
But then she ended up leaving early, and I had
From
to,
the wedding?
The wedding, and I had to beg her to stay so we could do the wedding marcha. And she was like, "Well, we don't have enough time for everybody to learn how to do the wedding march." And I was like, "Well, it'll be
What's
fun
the wedding
anyways."
march?
What's the wedding march?
It's a Mexican wedding march. You know what that
It's
is?
important to you.
Yeah. And she threw a fit about it, and I had to beg her to stay just for that part. And then as soon as it was over, she's like, "I'm leaving," and she left.
Oh.
So now that was in July. I got married in July, and I've reached out twice, and I haven't heard from her. So am I? Should I feel bad? No. I don't know.
No, first of all, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, first of all.
Wait,
For not trying.
are you the
harder,
friend? You're not, right?
Oh my God!
I'm kidding.
Dude.
Oh my gosh!
Here's what I'm about to say.
Become best friends. I know.
New friends, meet up after the show.
Start a farm. Have all the chickens you want.
Yes, unlimited chickens, triple digits.
That's off. No, you're not. No, she.
I just
for
feel
multiple
bad
reasons.
because I know being a maid of honor is like a big duty, and maybe she wasn't ready or prepared for it. So part of me just feels bad. But
No.
You know what's being a big duty? Fucking getting married for the rest of your life. That, having to, do a toast and throw a party, that's just,
I know.
that's fun.
No, that's the fun part.
Super easy, yeah. And you're so sweet for reaching out twice.
That's really nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because I'm planning a wedding now. You plan a wedding. I see a lot of. I'm on the R wedding planning subreddit. This is
Christ.
very common. It's great. There's a lot of hot tips on there. I learned some things, some good stuff, good places to find. And cheaper wedding stuff, and I'm not doing a lot of. Anyways, yada yada yada. I'm on Reddit a lot, and when I'm not watching people fall down from skateboards, I am looking at things. But this is apparently really common. Do you think that it stems from some type of jealousy? She thinks you're leaving her behind. I always try to think, why do people do the things they do?
So, and I know this about her, and I've known this about her forever. She's definitely a person that likes to be the center of attention. Yeah, and I think that's part of it. Yeah.
It ain't about you,
No.
friend.
No.
It's about the bride.
So people like that create chaos and drama, so the tension goes, because even negative attention is attention.
Yep.
So they want to deter from your happiness and you getting the focus. And I mean,
This is right up there with the recent we did of I think it was or it was the personal advice that somebody asked us where they said is the excuse of, oh, she's just like that, an okay excuse. As a huge egotistical person who loves being the center of attention, I have been a maid of honor several times and never made it about me. So it's there's something, I think that could be a factor, but there must be something else in there. I'm not saying that you did it at all, ever. That's not, you were getting married, you did the right thing. You went out of your way, kindness-wise, to try to make sure she was included, didn't feel, separate from the group or whatever, financial reasons. But I tried to, for my own sake and sanity, and my high school English teacher, Mrs. Mull, who was, much more than English, we learned life lessons. But she would always challenge us.
now they have a farm together.
We do, man. But she would always challenge us of what can I take ownership about in this situation, if only to try to take the power back for yourself and be it's not my fault, but to empower yourself to be I've tried, and you've tried, right? You tried during the wedding, at the wedding, you tried afterwards, and reaching out. Send her the link to this podcast and be you're being a real douchebag in the wedding.
Yeah.
She owes you an apology. She owes you an apology.
apology.
She does. For the Vegas thing, for being a dick, the wedding
We
march.
haven't even talked about it. You paid for it, and then she had the audacity to go to Vegas?
This week later, too. It's not like she made up for it. It was like, the week later. So she owes you an apology for that, and especially the wedding march is important to you. And if, for some reason, there was something that you did or whatever, it's on her to express that to you so you guys can, repair that. Otherwise, it's not... She's a douche if she's not saying it. You're like, that's me. Because you can't just be like, well, you did this and made me mad, and I never told you about it. I used to say to my ex, who would just be stomping around the house, I'd be like, I can tell you're pissed off, but until I know why, I don't give a shit. So that's the problem here is, she's acting out for some reason, and it's like, until I know why, I can't fix it, and I don't give a shit. So it's hard to... Buddhism says, don't DM me. A book I read about Zen.
Buddhism does not say
My
that,
whole
Heather.
life is... Anyway, a book that I read about, meditation and spirituality was saying that, a lot of... heartache in our life comes from desire, and if there's a way for you to detach yourself from the desire of wanting to repair that friendship and be like, listen, I told you how I'm feeling, then that would maybe be some peace for you. But I don't think you did anything wrong.
No, not at all, yeah. In fact, sometimes, it's weird because, if you were, in a... romantic relationship with someone like that, you'd break up with them. But when it's friends, for some reason, we feel beholden, we can't break up. But it's also a relationship, and sometimes you have to break up with your friends,
And longevity isn't a reason to suffer bad treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you have history, if there's adders and subtractors to your life. If she's not adding anything to your life, then why give her any of your energy and time? You're not an asshole. You're super nice.
Thank you, guys.
Change phone numbers. You have a new best friend.
New best friends.
New best
Thank you.
friend.
All right, final grievance that came over from here. Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Did I ever tell you that my brother's now fiance won The Price is Right?
We talked about it. She got the Showcase Showdown, right?
Yeah, she won the whole thing. Yeah, but
awesome.
I'll tell you what, they don't tell you. You gotta pay taxes
You do.
on all that shit. So she was decline. I think she got a vacation to Tokyo out of it.
She's like, I would not like a boat. But I want to pay taxes.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Megan.
Megan, nice to meet you.
Your shirt's awesome. For those of you listening at home, the pumpkins are on the boob part, and there's skeleton hands holding them.
Yeah.
Oh, also for everyone in the audience that
Very
can't see.
cute.
Thank you. I thought it was fitting.
It's fantastic.
The question here is whether or not I deserve to feel embarrassed.
Okay. Oh, I love this.
Into it.
Yes. I attended a party at my best friend's house, who I'm actually here with, celebrating her birthday. So happy early birthday, Hannah. We were celebrating her brother moving back from New Zealand. He's been there for 4.5 years. Super awesome. All of our friends, all of our family members, all of this wonderful stuff, right? Mm-hmm. My dad comes. Hannah's family, my best friend, is also best friends with my ex's family. Mm. So my ex ends up coming. Mm-hmm. It ends up being fine, whatever. We've been apart. I'm married to someone else now.
Congratulations.
It's super great. Thank you. And I love all of it. It's fine. And we're having a good time. We're all, amicable. Everyone is civil, whatever. My dad ends up leaving. He ends up texting my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah. No, to talk about the football game, because apparently I'm not answering my phone, and he needs to talk to me about the football game for some odd reason, and I literally could give 2 shits about the football game.
He has urgent football matters to discuss.
Urgent football matters. So they start talking about the football game, blah, 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 whatever. It keeps going on. My dad continues to text my ex-boyfriend that he needs to include me and my new husband when all of our mutual friends are hanging out, because it is just the right thing to do. What? And I looked at my dad and I said, that is the most embarrassing thing I think you've ever done to me. I was like,
ooh.
And he goes, it should not be embarrassing. I was just trying to be nice.
The classic parent trap.
Yeah.
Did he do it because he either incorrectly or correctly perceives that you and your husband don't have a lot of other friends?
I mean, maybe. I don't really get it because I see all of these, like, I see all of our mutual friends on a regular basis. Like, I literally
What does he mean? Like, if all of you are hanging out and the ex is there, is the ex like everyone, I have a story to tell except to the two of you? Like, how is he not including you?
There's literally no way. I don't know why my dad like felt that it was like his spot to like be like, you know what is going on in my daughter's life.
I have
right
a theory.
now.
I think that I have a theory after knowing you for 30 seconds.
Yes, tell me.
The judge knows.
I think when parents do stuff like this, it's because they feel guilt. So I wonder if your dad harbors some type of guilt for like your breakup, or like feeling like maybe he wasn't there for you or something. So he's just trying, like, I think in the end his intentions are good and he's trying to like protect his little girl and make sure that you're happy. Is it embarrassing? Yes. That's very. Is it overstepping boundaries? Also, yes.
Well, you have to also. Well, you're entitled to feel however you want to feel. I try to divorce myself from being responsible of the actions of other people, because it is. I mean, I stress myself out a lot of like trying to control situations and like time and life and everything, and I'm like always trying to hang on. And so that includes like introducing friends to each other, or introducing like friends or boyfriends to family, my immediate family, extended family, whatever, and being like, well, what might they say or whatever. And you just have to tell the person that you're with, or your now husband, and tell yourself like, I don't control my dad. You can tell your dad, hey, first of all, it makes me uncomfortable that you text whatever ex's name is. Like, please don't, that's weird to me. Like, well, I want to talk about football. Get Twitter, go on Discord, go to a bar anywhere and just yell about it. Yeah, get in a fantasy football league and make sure you check what they're logged in as when you do it. So I don't know. It's not like you guys were like, well, we were married for 25 years and my dad and my ex were like best friends, and he said it was a son he never had. And it's like, you have a son-in-law now. Like, it's to me, it feels inappropriate to have this relationship and just, being open about it. And I mean, surely, and if you have you told your dad that you said he embarrassed you? You like told him that?
Oh, yeah, I straight up was like, that is the most mortifying thing I think that you've ever done. And my dad prides himself on being the cool dad. He loves
New Balance sneakers.
Yes. He's
the
like,
polo.
He's like, I am the cool dad. Everyone wants to be my friend. Everyone loves me. And I'm like, you know what, Dad? You are cool.
So he's like, does he fancy himself like the peacemaker?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
But I'm like, I get it. You want to be cool. I love you. You are cool. I'm like, you're a nice person. Stop involving yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
This isn't cool. This is not what cool people do, Dad.
No. Yes.
Yeah, tell him that. Like, this is very uncool what you're doing right now. Prey on his biggest insecurities.
Whisper it in his ear in the night. Yeah. You're being uncool. No, I think that's, being open and honest like you did, and then just reiterating that it's important to you. And it's hard with family, though. And, especially, you don't want to make him feel bad, but also, you don't need to be friends with your ex.
Well, yeah, but your question was, should you feel embarrassed? Like, I would. Yeah, I think you have every right to feel embarrassed. Yeah, for sure.
Did your ex say anything to you, or you just know that your dad said this because your dad told you?
My dad... The other thing about my father is that he totally thought that this was the right move. Like, he called me after he fucking did it and was like, hello. He was like, you want to know what I just did?
He was
you want to
so
know
proud.
who I was just talking to? He was like, you know what? Your ex. He was like, and I loved meeting his girlfriend today. He was like, and he was just going on about it. And I was like,
Papa, no.
Oh.
I'm like, no, we
Have
don't
you
have
ever
to
told
talk
your
about
dad
this.
that, like, I wish that X and I had a better relationship?
No.
So that's weird. Do you have, like, and you said you're all amicable, so it's weird that he would even think it's necessary to do that.
Oh, no, it's super weird, which is why I was like...
Oh, shit. Somebody said, wait, is your dad married to your mom?
Not anymore.
Call your mom and be like, oh, you and Dad need to hang out. And then you call your dad and be like, I know you're like,
You're like, I talked to Mom. Guess what I did? Yeah. And then be like, see, this That's just really makes you feel real weird, doesn't it? Don't do it to me.
There you go.
That's what you do.
Retribution. That's always.
Taste of your own medicine. Yes, yeah. Well, I think you definitely have every right to feel embarrassed.
You're always entitled to feel how you want to feel.
Yeah, feel however you want to
You
feel.
should feel empowered to
for
do that.
sure. Yes. And Godspeed.
Yeah. Papa, no. Papa, no.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you so much to Ella and Colton and everybody at Comedy Works Denver.
You guys have been great. I think they're going to tell you what to do if you're VIP, what you're going to do. But for now, as always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy.
As promised, if you are VIP, please stay seated for the meet and greet after the show.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for supporting the show on Patreon. Here are your special Patreon shoutouts. Justin G. Reeves,
Kelsey Maltby,
Ash Kuba,
Nicole Davenport,
Beth Bryant,
Hexcellent 47,
Yoko Akamura,
Mallory Mower,
Elena Keller,
Charla Norton,
Hannah S.,
Cassandra Faulkman,
Jen Duffalo,
Whitney McNeil,
Shannon Reese,
Alice Catherine,
Rhiannon Yates,
Stephanie French,
Melissa Martinez,
Sam Mack,
Gil Eubanks,
Megan,
Reddy Shaw Neely,
Lena Warnberg,
Raquel Dominguez,
Christina Howe,
Shay Kirkendall,
Brianna Boydston,
Kelly McMasters,
Vanessa Diaz,
Sandy McGuire,
Amy Chilcote,
Sarah Rogers,
Raven,
Nikki Goodwoos,
Tori Robertson,
Daly,
Chelsea Eckerman,
Rachel and Seb,
Amanda Alexander,
Sarah Campson,
Philodo,
Aaron Lebsack,
Ivory,
Rachel Bierman,
Bridget McDonald,
Jessica Laura,
Susanna Nation,
Shanice Rennie,
Cheryl,
Chantel Halmertime,
Andrea Menchaca Garza,
Kate Murphy,
Brianna Lopez,
Gabrielle Elizabeth Corbin,
Misty Todd,
Jacqueline Doan,
Heather Ruse,
Catherine Wall,
Katie Williams,
Lexi the Ragdoll,
Jenna Boaz,
Trey McClary,
Whitney Ray,
All Things Spooky,
Danielle O'Connor,
Jessica Holbert,
Suzanne Smits,
Mary,
Haiti Madrigal,
Tracy Wood,
Kathy,
Nancy Rocco,
Terrence Carroll,
Catherine Jakubowski,
Aaron Durr,
Erica B.,
and Laura Brazelton. Thank you so much for supporting the show, you guys. We hope we pronounce your names correctly. We couldn't do this without you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep it creepy.
Wahahaha.